The one I love. They know the one I love. The one I love, the one I love. They know the one I love.
season.
Sheesh.
One,
Vanpool
Season
2. I know what you are.
yeah. Okay, mostly a mag group player, actually. EpiPen Enjoyer. Oh god.
You will make it out of gold, I believe.
Dude, that was the worst thing. We literally just ran.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the epitome of collegiate rivals. We are finally here at the end of the NECC East Regional Rivals Championship. Lander versus St. Clair College. We are here for some absolutely insane action tonight. I am Momo, accompanied by the wonderful Vol. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I am hyped for this. I believe we have the Division 5 finals here leading into the LAN championships. So everything to play for tonight. Lander has actually already apparently qualified for the LAN, but St. Clair must win this best of 7. Otherwise, they are denied their LAN opportunity.
A lot of stakes here tonight, specifically for one team. You know, it's like considering the level of competition we're at, considering, again, obviously the commitment from this team, Lander University, you see them all up top. They're here ready to do their thing. Obviously, not too much riding on their parts, but St. Clair, considering how we're lined up in this lobby, considering the path that we've taken throughout the entirety of this collegiate bracket, it's going to be a very exciting night.
Oh, yes, incredibly exciting. Both these teams undefeated through their divisions so far. So a true clash of the Titans, undefeated meeting undefeated. Lander, like I said, may not have the land spot to play for, but they do not want to go into land with that besmirched record. They want to have that 0 in the loss column, just like St. Clair does. So both teams will be giving it their all tonight, because trust me, you don't want to have that spot on your record going in.
Absolutely not. You know, I mean, obviously, even if, of course, like you mentioned, even if you are going to make it in regardless of the result, you know, there's a whole lot of things, either with team morale, with obviously how you're feeling with meta shifts in general, how you're feeling about your competition going forward anytime in the future, or something that I like to mention a lot between games, between sets, and all of that is the momentum of your team. You know, how you're playing in game, how the team synergies that you have in general are continuing to flow between games, or outside of, you know, like completely abandoning certain strategies when you're not playing too well. But if you're playing well, obviously you want to continue to hold that. So that can go either way. You definitely, no matter which team you are tonight, you definitely want to bunker down and play the best rivals you can.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. You're absolutely right. You don't want to have that loss trip you up going into this land. It's like because you're on cloud nine, you're undefeated. All of a sudden, oh man, we have one slip up, and that might be the one little thing that just gets that gear turning, that starts spinning that doubt. That then it's like, oh man, are we as good? Are we really that? Are we really that team? And then it just eats away, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're down 0-1 at land. You're on your last life immediately. So this is that mental game that a lot of people don't account for. And also just a lot of personal pride. Like you want to be able to be like, yeah, we had an undefeated season. We went to land and we were undefeated through, you have that golden season, as a lot of people like to play, like to call it. So yeah, still a ton to play for, even if you have that spot. But looking at these two teams, I got to give a slight edge to St. Clair, even though Lander's coming in with a ton of momentum. You're just looking at, who these teams have played lately, St. Clair going through Elon, and such, whereas Lander, I believe their last win was against Marywood. So still incredibly strong teams, but St. Clair has clawed their way through this bracket. So this is going to be, I think, Lander's biggest test of the season so far.
Yeah, man, it's going to be definitely a tough battle to go through as we get into our map number 1. Considering the oh wow, that's a sick map. Let's say considering the map rotations we have here for this set, we're going to domination, convergence, and convoy, and so on. So match number 1 is going to be happening on obviously the domination map, going to be the Hellfire Gala Krakoa map. And already, I mean, you heard the reaction from my co-caster. We're in for a good one for match 1.
I love Krakoa. I love it because it's one of those few maps where it's like, hey, there's quite a bit of difference between the maps. Like you have Grove, which is that nice kind of underground tight map. And then you have like Council or whatever, where it's big, it's open, you can play flyers. There's a lot of, dive angles that you can take. So you have to be very particular in your picks and bans. You can't just straight meta ban here because there is such a vast variety of playstyles available depending on what point you're on.
And obviously, it's match 1, so the safest thing we're going to do is go obviously for the Gambit ban on one side, Elsa ban on the other side. No harm, no foul, right? The protection of the Spider-Man is the interesting thing here. I mean, this map, there isn't really too much. I mean, obviously, like, Spider-Man's a good character, right? You can make it work, but there isn't really too much merit specifically on Krakoa here. So, I mean, obviously, I have to assume you have confidence in your Spider-Man player if you're going to be protecting Spider-Man for your first pick of the first match.
Yeah, you said that first save being Spider-Man. It's weird for me that's coming from Lander and knowing St. Clair has another hero, as we see here, having that animated champion Spider-Man icon. So obviously quite a bit of time on Spider-Man. So we're probably going to see a Spidey versus Spidey matchup here. We do see the Bucky ban. Tell you what, not going to have to ban Bucky in a couple of days, because for those of you who saw the patch notes coming out today that's coming out on Thursday, Winter Soldier kind of got put in the ground, but still strong.
Overdue.
Right now.
That's what I'll tell you. Long overdue.
Yeah, they put him into the wood chipper.
As we run through the rest of these bans protects here, we're going to be having the Emma Frost protection on the side of Lander. The side of St. Clair final protect, we have the Phoenix and the Venom ban. We're completely taking off the... honestly, I think the biggest thing in this current meta with Venom is, obviously he's a great character, but also he gets access to a lot of good team-ups. He gets the Jeff team-up. Is like considering the group healing of Jeff, how a lot of people are using him right now, I think it's a lot of value in that. So I can respect the Venom ban for sure. And Daredevil, obviously, that's always a good call.
Yeah, getting rid of these dive partners for the Spidey. It feels like they kind of want to just force a Spidey 1v1. You're getting rid of the Venom. You're getting rid of the Daredevil. So I feel like we might see like a 5-in-1 split here, where we're just going to have a 5v5 and then 2 Spideys on the side, kind of just doing Spider-Man things. I don't know what y'all do on Spider-Man. I don't really play the hero. I don't want to. That's y'all's thing.
I'm on the mic for a reason, bro. I don't got the brain for Spider-Man.
Yeah. But we are going to see some interesting lineups here. Some fairly different. Oh, are they going to go for a kidnap? Is Lander going to try to kidnap?
It's got to be this, right? That's got to be it.
Please tell me they're going for the... Because this could be... Yeah, could you open up the portal, you throw a White Fox Charm through, you snag with the penny? Oh my goodness.
I love the meta development for the kidnap strat specifically, where it's like before it was just like before it was just okay, we portal behind them and we kill them. Now it's like okay, we get Penny behind them, then we have the White Fox Charm, then we have Invisible Woman to drag them in, and then if it isn't enough overkill, we have the Diamond Form. It's like obviously the team comp isn't built just for this, but it's like there's so much that could go wrong if you're St. Clair right now. I hope they're ready for it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. We do see the portal coming out, and is this going to be a kidnap, or are they going to please be a kidnap? Please be a kidnap. Oh yes, they're just waiting. They're just waiting.
Oh, the Spider-Man's gonna cancel it, bro. You gotta go.
A shortcut through space.
They got through. They got the portal.
Oh no. The Magneto got the shield up just in time. St. Clair did not lose any to that kidnap, but Jay's still going to find a pick there with the Hawkeye. Great stuff there, setting up in this back corner behind the portal, having the spawn as that layer of safety for your back line. Now trying to get some extra pressure back up. Rose is still hanging on, trying to hold on to this front line, challenge this Spider-Man right now. Like you mentioned earlier, Val, considering the momentum of the Spider-Man and where they're going to want to go, this Emma Frost pressuring him early on is going to be a great idea.
Yeah, phenomenal tactic. We do see quite a few kills going back and forth, but just low HP on the St. Clair side. So I believe they are going to get first cap here. Yes, they do, and they're up to 10% already. But another hero doing work on the Spider-Man, making adroit work for it, and terrorizing the backline at the same time. However, just not able to get enough kill pressure over in front of, but gets his partner. Uh-oh, this could open up the door.
Oh, yeah, now we have Fang Bubble and Basta walking in the backline. Unfortunately, the team is dropping back down. One little stagger. So on that Spider-Man, who has to be doing his entire own thing, just drops back down just like that. We have the double patty cake of the stripes in the backline hanging on your strange, but he's still going to go down. 30%, definitely nothing to scoff at there. But now Lander are dropping like flies. The big stagger. You definitely need to get out of this situation, considering the entirety of St. Clair is sitting on the point right now. Rose is trying to find some sort of pick, some sort of little levity, I guess, here on the point. But we see, obviously, Adroit trying to find the opening here. The Spider-Man doing the pick here. No, we don't. We just get out of there, recognize, just cut our losses.
Yeah, good job getting it out, not trying to overstay his welcome. But Jay gets the pick on the Hawkeye. A headshot onto your FPS that may open the door. We do see the invisible boundary come up, but it's matched by Bathtub first. And that's going to be an advantage over to the side of Lander, as there is going to last about three or four more seconds. And we do see that advantage come through as we are trading kills, but it seems to be just over on Lander's side here. We do see the Kumiho come out from the White Fox, and that should be enough to put a point for the side of Lander University. And we do see the flip come in.
Great hold there from Lander, taking the point back from St. Clair. And honestly, this Hawkeye putting in a lot of pressure, but Jay going to be opting for the Starlord this time. I mean, I'm never going to argue against Starlord pick. This is arguably top 3 duels in the game right now.
Has there ever been a time where he hasn't been a good pick? I feel like he's always like that solid, just like, hey, he might not be hugely meta, but like he's never been a throw pick, I feel like.
He's been sitting in the shadow for far too long. That's all I'll say about it.
Oh, speaking of in the shadows, the Spidey's in the shadows looking for a big Q button press here.
Oh.
What a read!
Definitely poke his head out a little bit too early. Got picked out there from East Mercy now with the pick lead there. I don't think Strange going to find the pick there on EpiPen Enjoyer, but another hero be taking down Jay in a 4v5 situation. Later trying to drop back with St. Clair going to be taking the fight once again, going to their favor. Unfortunately, with your Spider-Man dropping down first, you're just lacking in damage at the beginning of that fight, and that gives St. Clair all the opportunity to run it back down and take the point for themselves.
Control lost.
You do see Rose, they're doing their best, trying to stall out that, getting it up into the 90s, but unfortunately 85% does flip over, which means even if St. Clair loses this next fight, they should have enough time, to proc overtime to get it in there. But we do see Jay closing in on that Galactic Legend, and that could be devastating. As with just the cloak ult, you can easily find somebody outside of that ultimate and get the kill there. But speaking of kills, Adroit gets the kill onto the cloak. There's no cloak and dagger ultimate. They're free to press forward with the Eye of Agamotto in the Galactic Legend.
There you go. That's the kind of Spider-Man play we see right there, separating the team, giving Lander the perfect opportunity to walk in and make it their business. The big proc there from I don't know how to play. Clearly looks like he knows how to play right now. As Lander takes a confident lead back. We're going to be seeing a portal coming out from Uri FPS with 7% left to go on the point. St. Clair still hanging on here. He tries to deter the portal, but gets stopped there by the Magneto bubble. Great play there from JJ. as St. Clair able to make it back just in time, giving them the pick lead here in this final fight, looking to hold it down there again. No Galactic Legend, no ultimates to be seen. The big Meteor M taking down Bathtub, taking down How to Play, taking down Forge Bubble, and that's going to be the entire fight going to St. Clair. An insane clutch in that last final moment.
Yeah, and Adroit here needs to find somewhere to play safe in case they need to touch. Because I don't think this portal is going to get out just in time, so they're going to need him to start overtime. Adroit does get the touch, maybe?
No.
Yes, does get it just in time. But both DPS down from the side of land.
We have Fang coming in here, the proc from the invisible boundary, but counteracting that, big Eye of Agamotto begin taking down this White Fox. The Velvet Round coming out from Bathtub Toast, still hanging on. The Fire Song Inferno will be taken down on the part of Roses, and I don't know how to play. J4 going to become the picking there on Pokies. Fight going down the wire in this first round. As Nailbiter, as it gets there, taking down the Strange with not a single player left in St. Clair. I believe that's going to be the round going to St. Clair, unless we have the Spider-Man getting back fast enough, but that's going to be it.
Yeah, wow, what? I don't know if my heart can take a 7-map series from these two teams, because we're 99-99 already. 0.1, map 1. This is incredible. I mean, and look at the score. Almost the exact same down the board. We're, you got an 11-12, 10-13. But like these stats are almost identical on the exact same side. Just a little bit more on the final hits on the side of the lander tanks, and that might be what's training. They just have that little bit of extra tank pressure, able to create that room for the rest of the composition to do work. And I wonder if that's due to the Emma Frost versus the Magneto, just having that diamond form, having that that shield that you can put in front, instead of just having that static shield that Magneto has.
I also think part of it too was Adroit shifting away from the diving Spider-Man and more towards like playing within his team and going for that pull pick we saw in the final fight there, finding the pull in from EpiPen, so they didn't have access to that Cloak and Dagger ultimate in that final fight. It's one of those things where Spider-Man can be a Nightcrawler in the night,
Yeah, I mean, you said that pick, that getting the Cloak and Dagger. Oh no, that's not good for the first fight. Still 15 seconds before point open, so if Lander here, I would like to see him kind of fall back a little bit, try to slow play this, wait for point to open before they apply pressure, because now KD8 is now spawning. Should get there very quickly. He's Spider-Man, so he should be there for this first fight.
Oh, trying to swat him back away. Beth just barely hanging on, looking like the rest of Lander struggling just a little bit. The big Vanpool ultimate coming out, the Banhammer, getting the extra damage back up. Jake will be taking down Pokies. And now we have the Agamotto in the backline, but not going to be just enough as your health is too low. J4 going down as well, putting up a hell of a fight in this first fight of this point, but St. Clair going to be taking it, even with Adroit finding that final pick there.
Yeah, unfortunately 1 pick, but 3 deaths there for Adroit until that point open, so not the best start for the Spider-Man here on the side of Lander. But still very strong, a lot of pressure being applied, but big ult bank advantage for the side of Lander here. They got Spidey, they've got the Eye of Agamotto, they're 5% away from the Galactic Legend. We see Spider-Man going in early, at least getting the Cloak and Dagger, oh my goodness!
Huge pick there early on, giving Flame the opportunity to run back in, looking for the backline pick again, but they're not going to let Adroit get away with that once more. Now Lander going to 5-5, the Galactic Legend coming back out there. Now he'll take a pick. Oh no, goes down to JJ on the Psionic Seduction, bringing another great ultimate on the part of Lander, and that's I think that's every ultimate besides the Eye of Agamotto going to the bin. St. Clair definitely has a strong advantage right now.
Oh, he was so close. He was like 5 HP from getting the kill onto JJ there, but JJ able to get this Psionic Seduction out early enough, able to get that entrance onto Jay there, stopping that Galactic Legend. And we see how strong of a pick this Emma Frost can be. I love the swap from St. Clair onto it, but now we do see the Eye of Agamotto with no real response from St. Clair. They do get the invisible bounce, so hopefully they can get it in time. Here comes the Eye of Agamotto.
Not able to find anything off of that one there. We still have the White Fox ultimate being procced by Fang, trying to find the extra momentum. Poki's putting in insane work on this Phoenix, taking down Bathtub. Gonna find the double pick there with the Fire Song Inferno. That bird is singing. And St. Clair looking extremely dominant in this round 2.
What an ult by Pokey, getting the double kill on the ult and then getting a headshot kill for a third kill there. And now applying pressure onto Jake. Pokey is doing it all right now. Oh my goodness, somebody's stop them. Not okay. You just can't be doing this to people. Forcing the portal to come out so early here for the side of Lander Universe, but they do have all 6 going through the portal.
Lander trying to take the point back into their favor. The boundary going back up with, that's the only ultimate they have access to. Once this goes down, it's going to be a pretty prickly position. Yeah, looking at Ultra coming out. JJ can be taking down a droid. No longer on the Spider-Man. Oh no, Bethel getting sent away from the portal. Now away from your team. And honestly, Lander dropping like flies. It's looking like St. Clair is going to be taking round 2 uncontested.
Yeah, not a complete reversal from point 1 there. If 100-0 in the Grove, we're going to Carousel now, tied 1-1. And this, I mean, you've got to give the advantage to St. Clair right now after getting 100-0. It's just this Emma swap from JJ has been quite the devastating change. Because now we see, yeah, look at this now, 25, 23 elims for the tanks that we do see. Yeah, it's a lot of that. Just whoever can bully the other team's tank, it feels like it's going to take these maps. So I'm going to be watching those going forward. But I would love to see maybe another kidnap attempt. Oh no, we can't. The portal's on cooldown for Lander. They have to do that touch. So I wonder if they're going to come out on this Emma Magneto now, swap it up yet again, give St. Clair something else to think about here.
Yeah, and we have a droid switching over to the Namor, which means we can be shifting away from the pseudo dive comp we had practice earlier. Obviously, still have Jay on the Star-Lord, but I guess the lack of damage somewhat on the mid-range front, I guess it can be picked up by the Magneto, and of course the Emma is going to be no slouch. Excited to see how that applies here, especially on a smaller point going into round number 3. See if St. Clair has any bit of rebuttal. And immediately going into this first point, Sonic Destruction, immediate proc there from Roses. Looking at that first one, and going to find the first and
here we go.
2 picks on the part of Lander.
Yeah, that mid-range neutral fight for them now is insane. I mean, you said it. This Star-Lord pick can kind of do a little bit of everything. He can dive a little bit, he can brawl a little bit, he can probe a little bit. It's a phenomenal pick, I think, in any competition.
Where are we?
Yeah, where are we?
What are we doing up there? Sorry, I just kind of got enamored by that. I'm like, I don't know, what is he doing up there?
But look at these health bars for St. Clair. They're all at half HP by the time the fight takes place because of this Namor pick. But oh, the headshot comes through from the van pool. This could be bad news.
We have Lander still trying to hold on strong on this point. We have the Namor ultimate looking to drop back down, trying to block the Fire Song Inferno with the bubble, but not holding on just enough. The big ultimate gonna find the pick there on the part of
Jay.
Oh, range with the Jay, the double Galactic Legend, the 3. Can he find even more still? Holding on strong for this point. Oh my god. Oh, the Fanpool going out. You're trying to find the pick there on Roy. Oh my god, Lander's still somehow, some way holding on to this point after burning that insane ultimate.
And they only needed to use Jay and Fang in order to do it. They still have 3 ults in the bank. Such a great, efficient fight there for the side of Lander. Yes, there are going to be 3 for the side of St. Clair now, but if you can win the fight and be even or ahead, you're going to take that every time. And they have an ultimate in each category. They got a DPS, a support, and a tank ultimate. So things are looking great for Lander going forward here.
They try to continue to hold this point. They're looking for an opening. The Galactic Legend coming out from another hero, trying to find some extra momentum and Droid taking down Yoroi. No picks there, only opposing Galactic Legend, but here we have the big Cloak and Dagger ultimate coming through into fruition. Oh man, with the double Cloak and Dagger, we got ink all over the battlefield right now. Completely.
This is good for Lander though. They're just stalling it out to get percentage.
Big missile boundary. There you go. I mean, St. Clair needs to win this fight right now, considering all the cooldowns that we burned. But Lander are looking in the prime position to take this all the way. There's a pick on another hero. And Jake can be taking down. I don't know how to play. We're going to be taking down another hero, but Roy and Poki's back on top. St. Clair finally taking this fight at the end of round 3, but they've got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, a lot of ground to make up, not a lot of time, and not a lot of ultimates on the side of St. Clair. I love it. Lander just kind of matching ultimates there, holding on to the Horn of Proteus, holding on to the Psionic Seduction, 30% away from another Galactic Legend. I mean, it is looking like Lander's fight to win here and to take map 1. They just need to be smart with these ultimates. They cannot waste it. They cannot, use it at an improper time. And it looks like they are going to try to rotate the point and then use that Psionic Seduction to open up this.
You are under my protection.
Vanguard's here in the front line of Lander trying to make some opening here. The Titan are going to get shut down by JJ. Unfortunately, Rose is getting a little too overzealous, and Faye going to get jumped back here. Okay, we win the 1v1. The evil woman, who's going to stop her? 8 health left. All right, dude, that would have been crazy. Dropping Dak down there. St. Clair going to win this fight out once again. Unfortunately, that's another key cooldown in Psionic Seduction going away. And St. Clair, as the timer ticks down, even if they're still 50% down, they've got the momentum here.
Yeah. I mean, things are looking up for St. Clair in terms of momentum, but in terms of ulti, there's 2 DPS ults for the side of Lander. I mean, they're 45% away from the nearest support ult here, so JJ gonna need to use that Psionic Seduction to counter the Galactic Legend, just like they did on the Grove. But we see Adroit gets down to low HP early on here, but able to heal back up. This is gonna be, I mean, this might be the last fight here. We could be going into the last fight for
K4 hanging on to this Galactic Legend, not gonna proc it just yet. You have another hero, and JJ broke the Psionic Seduction and the Galactic Legend on their part. Pathfinder is gonna be setting up that Cloak and Dagger ultimate on point, but it might be for naught. JJ trying to find something here. This Galactic Legend coming from the pick there. We do on JJ, taking that Roy as well. St. Clair and Lander both going down to it in this final fight. We have the Portal Axes in the back pocket. We have the Fire Song Inferno, and the Evil Boundary can be burned there from Hanks. I mean, Roy's going to be going for this portal right now. They're probably going to get it off considering the time on the overtime.
Oh, this is looking so good for Lander now. The only ultimate is on their side, and they are closest to the second ultimate with Rose just 20% away. This is looking phenomenal. They get the kill onto Ace. The portal comes through, but the kills keep falling in favor of Lander. Oh, they get another one. JJ down.
They're taking up. There we go. And Lander with all of that down, with no portal, with no cooldowns left to spare. That is going to be Lander University clinching game number 1.
What another! So Lander only wins in exciting fashion. If that's, I've been here for one map. That's what I've learned from Lander University. Y'all just love giving people heart attacks. What a phenomenal comeback though. St. Clair had the first 2 kills of that opening final fight, but Lander stuck with it, got the ultimates out. Big Galactic Legend coming out there from Jay, and just a great comeback for Lander. I thought their mental might have been a little shooketh after the Grove, after point 2, but they showed why they're undefeated.
Yeah, clearly, it was, I think it all came down to, honestly, the ultimate economy and how they're using. I mean, honestly, St. Clair, when they won those fights, it was in a dominant fashion. But the thing is that they burned all those, like the Band Hammer, the Psionic Seduction. We saw it in that last fight where it was the Psionic Seduction and the Galactic Legend, one on top of another, and they only found 2 picks off of that. As we saw on the side of Lander, we're slowing things down. We were waiting for the perfect opportunity. Bathtub Toast can be proccing the Cloak and Dagger ultimate and claiming that point when their team was in prime position. We had J4 hanging on to that Galactic Legend as long as he needed to. It was timing like that in a game of ultimates. Conserving them and playing like that is so important.
I couldn't say it better myself. Just being efficient, and timing is what, it's a game of inches, it's a game of millimeters. Like those little timing windows, they're not open for very long, and you need to make the most out of them when they do appear. So you have to have that communication of, hey, hold the ult, whoever, I don't know who the IGL is, but whoever it is making the call of hold or go, those are the calls that in a 99 to 100 map, those are the calls that determine, not just the point victory, but the entire map win. As we saw, we had 2 99 to 100s. If either one of those flip, it's a 2-0. It's a 2-0 for St. Clair's there. And now we're talking about them having all the momentum. But instead, Lander showing the determination, showing the grit, showing them, hey, we're not backing down when things get tough. And that can break St. Clair's mental. Like, what do we have to do to put these guys down? Every time we hit Q, they have a response. Every time we get a kill, they have a response. What do we have to do to put these people in the dirt?
I mean, yeah, it all comes down to, I guess, slowing down the pace of the game, recognizing that you obviously have a lot of gumption when it comes to the beginning of these fights. You have a lot of those hard hitters, like the Spider-Man we saw on the part of another hero. You saw JJ finding a lot of momentum on that Emma. It's just making sure that the momentum doesn't get away from you. And making sure that you stay consistent. You're calling out your ultimates when needed. We're not just clicking the button when we have it. We're not saying, "Oh, we can win this fight. We burn everything," but we have to think. Hindsight is 2020. We got to consider the entire game. We're looking at it. And as we get to the second map here, as we're into convergence, that's definitely going to be, I believe, much more important than about like domination, because not only is there obviously the first point to talk about, but then these kind of maps can snowball very hard.
Very, very hard. And you brought up a point in the Spider-Man. I wonder now, does Lander no longer save the Spider-Man? Because as good as KDA was on that Spider-Man, I felt like he was matched on the side of St. Clair's. I felt like it was a very, it might have even been a little bit towards St. Clair's advantage on the Spider-Man because, we saw Lander had to swap first. So do we see possibly a ban there, or are they just taking it out of the save rotation and maybe saving something else? Maybe saving, something like a Namor, like, hey, just in case, we make sure that we have that in our back pocket because it looked pretty solid on that final point there.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have to see. I mean, it all comes down to the map layout, honestly. I mean, it's something can serve to the Spider-Man pick if it serves to more of a mid-range of a hit scan type of game. I mean, when it comes to like maybe like a flyer focus, there's so many different avenues that we can take here going to the next point. But clearly, I mean, if there's one thing I took from that game, it was that Lander is definitely a flexible team. We shifted our team
Mhm.
comp from like round one playing with around the Strange and the Emma and playing much more like of an aggressive forward comp with the Spider-Man. And then in the following rounds, we shifted more towards the mid-range focus with the Namor playing the anti-dive, the Star-Lord playing more of the pseudo-dive there, and we had the Emma and the Magneto. So I feel like I'm wondering, like, what else do we have playing? What's in the back pocket? What nefarious thoughts are going through the minds of Lander
We're,
University?
we're scheming over here now. Is that what I'm hearing? Lander's scheming?
I think they're scheming, dude.
I love a good scheming team. I love a good like that's one thing I love about collegiate in general is just you have teams like we see here with Lander and with that kind of have a range of ranks. You have golds and diamonds and plats playing with grandmasters and celestial players. So you're not necessarily playing these hard, oh man, we have to play the top high meta absolute 0.01% composition. It's like, hey, we have a guy that's really good on Bucky. We have a guy that's really good on this character or whatever. Like, so you kind of just play towards what more of the hero pool is as opposed to what the quote unquote meta is. And you can get crafty, you can get sneaky, you can have rotations or compositions that might not work, at the highest level, but they work down here because hey, we're not checking all of our corners, or hey, sometimes you just kind of, aimbot walk down main and forget to, look at your high ground or whatever.
Yeah, definitely a lot of different aspects to keep in mind when going through uh, the game mode we have presented to us here. But with that being said, obviously, with all the action coming up to us soon, we're going to be throwing it to a quick little break just to get the next match set up. Should not to go anywhere. We will be right back.
Whew. All right. And we are back. What? Oh my goodness! What an incredible opening map, Momo. I mean, two 99 to 100s. We had map, we had composition swaps, counters, everything. I don't know about you. I haven't had a better opening map in a long time.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, if there's one thing we can say for sure, is these two teams are both surely in it to win it. Right? There's no downplay of skill in either one of these teams, and I am fully here for it.
Yeah, you said playing everything on time. We do see opening bands the same. We have the Gambit band leading into the Elsa band. Honestly, it's 7.0, the two strongest heroes out of the gate, like getting them out there. There's no debate about that. But I wonder, this is where I wonder if we'd see a change. This is where they had the Spider-Man save last time. I wonder if we change it up a little bit.
I mean, I would think so.
Ooh.
I am going for the Groot save this time. I mean, we were seeing before some of the player stats of this team. We've got the Groot players. And considering the tone of the meta right now, I think Groot is definitely a great. Obviously, still he's a main tank, but a great secondary role in like different like ult combinations and whatever. It's definitely exciting to see where it can go here. And I mean, as I say that, we get on the opposite side the Moon Knight ban. Like, yeah, get that out of here. We're not dealing with that. We're good.
No, we don't want a Groot Knight combination here. That Fist of Khonshu with the Strangling Prison is just such a phenomenal team wiping ultimate. We see the Bucky ban again. I don't want to deal with that displacement. And okay, it looks like so Lander here wants to try to maybe play an Emma Groot matchup, but we do see Tank Pool saved for the side of St. Clair, so that is going to be an option there. And that is such a strong here. That Tank Pool, probably the best version of Deadpool available right now.
Oh yeah, no one's arguing with that. People tried to be contrarians when he first came out, saying, "Oh, well, maybe no, don't stop it. It's advanced Vanpool. Let's be serious."
Yeah,
exactly.
And we see the Phoenix save from Pokey again.
Oh yeah, I mean, Pokey was putting in insane amounts of work. Last game on St. Clair, obviously that's not a big surprise. Seeing these teams have relatively the same. We're actually gonna be banning the Cloak and Dagger here. Clearly, Fang definitely had it was a little bit of a thorn in the other team's side here on with the Cloak and Dagger last game, I guess.
Yeah, not wanting to deal with that. I mean, if you have the Groot ult into the Cloak window, the purple, that can be devastating. And we see another Daredevil ban. So ban's the same, Philander, just changing up the Spider-Man for a Groot. So Spider-Man still open, wasn't banned out, but not saved here. So
yeah, we still want access to that in the back. Judge Roy trying to considering the possibility of pulling in the back pocket. Obviously, Namor, even if they're not another hero isn't going Spider-Man, it's also Namor is a great counter for Star-Lord. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. He also just puts out consistent damage, so Nora's always a good pick.
Yeah, again, I kind of put him maybe a level below, but kind of in the same kind of tier that I would put Star-Lord in. Again, it's just like, he's not bad to have. Like, sure, he might not be the optimal pick every now and then, but like, you're very rarely ever annoyed or disappointed by a Namor on your team, because those squids are always going to do damage. The right click is always going to be good, and the Horned Proteus, pretty decent ultimate compared to some of the other DPS ults that are out there.
Yeah, like even the you can literally put like an inanimate object on Namor. Like, as they're clicking
Yeah.
the squids, you're gonna get some kind of value. And obviously, Adro was putting in good work. So considering the angle we've taken up here so far, I'm excited. I haven't seen a Namor be in this position on defense in this map, but it makes sense theoretically. So I'm excited to see them play.
Yeah. No, this is gonna be good. Getting the double squid out there. Would have liked to see those squids a little higher, but they're doing work already. As we see some low HP bars on the side of St. Clair already coming out there.
The Death from above is going to be putting in a lot of work.
Danpool joins him up top though.
Yep.
Pushes the more down.
Okay, looking to push the position up here on defense. Not going to get over aggressive. Instead, continuing to get this work in on this defensive position. They're of course trying to break through, but it's looking like it's a 5v6 right now. I'm not sure what's going on there. Or, I don't know if it's a visual glitch or.
What are you aiming at?
It looks to be just a visual bug. It's just a visual bug.
Okay,
another
good.
hero still alive and well. But kills traded out 2 for 2 on each side. And I feel like that's going to favor Lander here as these squids are going to start doing more work as they get more and more focus. But no, St. Clair able to flip it around, and it looks like they're going to get some percentage here. Do we see a teleport back? Is anybody going to swap, or are they going to give up the point here? Looks like they're just giving it up.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to take that one back, to wrestle out of their hands. That's going to be St. Clair taking it in a relatively swift motion with 5 minutes to spare on the board. And later trying to back up, make some extra space here, going into the next fights here. But yeah, I mean, St. Clair obviously in a great position. We're close to that training prison on both sides. It's just like, this initial defense on point 1 is so awkward. So as Lander, it's like, do you choose to pick the fight here, or do we back up and make some space?
And now we're going to see a lot of mid-range battling here. This is going to be Phoenix versus Namor, basically. Who can help put out more DPS? And it looks like Namor right now, with the help of the squids and that right click, taking Pokey down, is going to handle business. And that's going to push St. Clair back into spawn.
Great stuff there from Lander, again, forcing this position, forcing them back, not letting them carry too much of the momentum. And obviously, with 5 minutes on the board, they've not too much to worry about, but yeah, they got some time, but you definitely don't want them to gain too much of that, you know?
Interesting here from KDA. They're throwing out, they're saving both squids and throwing out both squids at a time instead of trying to, maybe put one on one angle, one on the other. They're doubling down, which high risk, high reward. If you get them on a good angle, you hit a right click, hey, you got them both going. They both are going to be shooting shots, but you do lose some of that lane control. But you might not be worried about that because it looks like St. Clair kind of playing that kind of front to back poke, so it's going to work against the St. Clair's runner. You see an early Galactic Legend get shut down by Pokey. Oh my goodness.
Good stuff there from Pokey, catching Jake getting a little overzealous, and even with the pick there, I don't know how to play. Obviously, we're going to find. Oh, the Hornet Proteus coming through. No Invisible Bound going to keep you up there. Hey, you might have banned the Moon Knight group. Honestly, the with the Namu, maybe the.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need a
Gamor?
name for this. We need a name for this because we have Group Knight for the Moon Knight group combo. What do we? I mean, do we have some sort of whale, prison, vine, thorn thing? We got. Look, we're gonna workshop it. We'll get back
The
to
strangling whale, like, well.
Oh God! I mean,
Sounds violent.
Giganto does have hands. So, like, I'm just imagining like a blue whale strangling somebody. That's right.
So, you know, things are trying to
Dude.
push out of their spawn. Honestly, I mean, I haven't seen anything that's held at this point, to be honest. Considering, again, you can't knock it because they've knocked down 2.5 minutes off the timer here. And St. Clair is kind of at a dead end, trying to get out of the spawn right now.
This is such a good thing to break because you have the group to wall off, so they're kind of forced to go a certain angle, and then you have a Star-Lord over top of that flying in the air, shooting down, and you've got squids and spears coming in from all sorts of angles, and then you have an Emma Frost there just to anchor the payload. Like this could be a hold here for Lander if they play their cards right. This is devastating for St. Clair's time back.
Oh, but the Fire Song Inferno from Poke getting a poke back through. Their hero opting for the Squirrel Girl, and honestly, like, it might seem like a silly pick, but like considering the entirety of that team is grouped up right there, begging to get hit with some kind of splash damage,
Like they built
it works. Exactly. You want to look at it. You want to call the pick silly, but like it's perfect for this specific situation. It got the job done.
Hey, like they say, if it's silly and it works, it ain't silly.
Exactly.
That broke. I mean, they immediately broke the spawn hold with that swap. So good on you, St. Clair. But now not necessarily the best pick going forward here, as there is a little bit of multi-lane action happening here. Squirrel can only really focus down one. We do see a big ult advantage on the side of Lander, but what are they going to do? Are they going to go with the Strangling Whale again? Looks like
Looking for it, at least.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Although we do see an off angle here. Is he going to spin the back? No, just goes straight to the Galactic Legend. Although the Psychic Seduction and the Invisible Boundary both come out for St. Clair and get 2 kills.
Taken down by another hero, actually, sniping you out of the air. Three-quarter Proteus. And, oh my god, the Strangling Whale coming out once again. 2 picks. Will it be enough to shut down this push? Or will St. Clair somehow still win the day on this fight? We have the 2 Emmas going back at it, and somehow, some way. Considering the numbers in this fight, St. Clair did take it there, even with the Groot ult plus the more ult coming out there.
Look at the time they put, what, 4 minutes off the clock? What a phenomenal hold for Lander. Yes, you gave up points. Yes, it cost you quite a bit. You used 6 ultimates. But you got it to 2 minutes, 2 minutes 15 on the clock by the time we got that point. So phenomenal work. And now you can actually hold this 3rd point here coming up.
Yeah, only less than 2 minutes on the board here to hold point 3 of Jay. Optic for the Hela. Shifting away from the backline die that he was focused on earlier, instead of getting that consistent damage, especially when this high ground on point 3, which could get some great momentum. Going to be taking down JJ, getting over aggressive. Ignite's coming out there as well, getting in the extra AoE damage. Not as much as Scargo, obviously, but Hela still gets in some great value, especially as St. Clair gets pushed back here in this final point.
Yeah, honestly, these rooting acorns, I can't remember the name of the ability, but the root acorn she has on her right click is doing work against this front line of Lander University, because Groot has no way to stop it. Yeah, Emma can stop it with her Diamond Form, but you don't want to waste Diamond Form on an ability that has 2 charges with the rewind this Virgo has, and it's on such a short cooldown. Like, he just, like, look at it, he just stops and prevents any sort of forward momentum that Lander University might be giving you.
Yes, definitely much easier said than done breaking through this wall they're possessing. Now we have the White Fox in the backline trying to hold up these skills after bringing out ultimate. Rose is going to be taking down Roy, but actually another hero finding Jay around this corner. Honestly, this Scroll Girl pick might be the sleeper pick that we didn't know we needed, because another hero is getting a lot of momentum here on these 2nd and 3rd points.
This is going to be big for I don't know how to play, though. No more support ults, and he has the Strangling Prison, and we have the Horn of Proteus with only 20 seconds left. But a droid goes down. They don't have the combo anymore. Does he still throw it, or does he wait for Namor to respawn? That's going to be a big call. Oh, they're getting the kills. They might just go against the backline. Once these Loki runes go down, I can see him throwing it out here. The backline is open.
Staying patient here. I don't know, not going to burn that strength just yet, especially because he might just not need it. Another hero goes down, and with the Goddess of Death coming out in just a couple seconds. Was coming out there. Right behind. Got a ping and a bada boom, but the Magneto bubble coming out at a perfect timing. But it's all for naught as Lander University holds it down. We're not obviously opt for a portal or something of the sort, but there's not even any time for that. With St. Clair having 5 minutes to go, after capping that point, Lander somehow still manages the full hold.
Yeah, what a defensive powerhouse showing there from Lander. Like, I saw like 5:15 or whatever it was on the clock. I was like, oh man, like St. Clair's gonna cap this with like probably a couple minutes. And then just a 4-minute hold on point 2 there was insane. And I got to give a shout out to Adroit and Jay, like the DPS line. 13 final hits for Adroit and 7 final blows for Jay. I mean, look at almost 15k damage for KDA and Rose each, just like a couple hundred shy. So big shout out to them. And then 42, almost 43 damage block from Groot on I don't know how to play. Like, what a change in pace we saw from those two. Like, it was such a great play by Lander there on defense.
Get ready.
Now on St. Clair, the ball's in their court, considering again how they had all the time in the world to push it all the way. Obviously, they're still in not a terrible position. They still pushed it halfway to the third point. Definitely not nothing to scoff at, but considering Lander and how they're moving, considering the comp we're seeing right now with the Strange and the Spider-Man coming back out from Adroit, St. Clair gonna have to go for some kind of full hold approach, and I'm like, oh no, Jay, put the score.
Oh no.
Don't even think about it.
Jay,
Don't
what are
even
we
think
doing?
about it.
What-
Oh
Okay.
no.
This is why you watch Collegiate. We get Squirrel
Oh
Girl
wait,
Spidey.
nah, Squirrel Girl Portal Tech. Nah, hold on a minute.
No shot.
This might be cooked.
Shot.
This is someone might be cooking here.
Someone's gonna get put in an early grave here. What? Okay, what are we looking for? What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Oh, they're going after the Loki.
Oh, we're just letting it rip right now. The Squirrel Girl putting in all this pressure from behind in
much
the
damage.
spawn. Jay getting in all that extra spawn damage. Before it was the Hawkeye, but now the Squirrel Girl. Man, this might be the answer that we were looking for. Now, before the portal goes down, he needs to jump back. They're getting kicked back in again. Then we're gonna jump back through again, recognizing the team fight is gonna go back down. You know, shifting away from the Squirrel Girl. Like, you know, it was a cheeky idea, the cheeky strat. We're shifting back. Jay going back to that Star Lord. But actually, Lander's somehow still holding it down to the point.
Yeah, there's still signature on point. I'm not gonna lie, I did prefer the Hawkeye version of that because you do get that one-shot capability. But Squirrel will put in a lot. Like, these health bars haven't gotten back over half since that started, and now there's gonna be a ton of pressure coming forward from Lander as they get one kill, they get a second kill, they get a third kill, an answer from St. Clair, but I think it's too little, too late as a fourth kill comes in from Bathtub Toast, and that's gonna be point capture, I believe.
They win that fight.
Obviously, you're on the TP, yes, they do TP back, but it's one at a time now. I don't know if there's gonna be enough presence from St. Clair to hold this point.
We're going to be taking down Fang, getting jump there again. Bathtub Toast. Detroit is recognizing that, getting that health pack. Saying you got to get out of there because the fight is lost. But with 2.5 ticks taken for your team, with, again, the probably the quirkiest portal strategy you will ever see in your life. I have to assume that a full team push this time instead of like 5.5 v6 from Jay. Looking much stronger here.
Yeah, we do see ultimates starting to come online from both sides here. Another hero there first, but Jay not far behind. I will say Adroit though pretty far behind as they have to swap back over to the Spider-Man, and he goes down early to the Galactic Legend of St. Clair.
St. Clair doing the Galactic Legend there again, just turning that fight back their favor. And as you see, honestly, the fight goes down in 30 seconds, but a key ultimate cooldown on the part of St. Clair, which gives Lander the opportunity of saying, hey, wait, you have no Galactic Legend. That means we're free. You don't have to worry too much about our strategist ultimate, considering we want to play around, obviously, the Fire Song Inferno. But now, Jay, we have the Feast of the Abyss, and we're close to our own Galactic Legend. So when we talked about ult economy earlier, St. Clair's got to be careful.
Incredibly careful, and we see Adroit making another swap, this time back onto the Namor that they've been so proficient on, and an early Psionic Seduction comes out, not really getting any of those markers, but they do get the invisible boundary out, and the responding Psionic Seduction from JJ to the Galactic, like, oh, 12 HP, Jay, you gotta get out of there.
Hanging on just barely here in the back line, gonna get picked up by Bathtub Toast, but taken down by Roy. We're gonna be taken out. EpiPen Enjoyer. It might be a little too late for this fight. Jay looking for an opportunity to get out of there right now. Detroit looking for the same thing as St. Clair locks it back up here.
And we do see that is both support ults out from the side of St. Clair, so they don't have an answer for Adroit, but Adroit dies, so it doesn't matter.
Tough stagger.
Wow. I tell you what, this is an interaction that I want to see, though. We have Adroit with their ultimate, and we have a Magneto ult. Let Magneto suck up the whale. Please. Guang, I'm begging you. Let Magneto absorb the whale. I need to see that happening.
Don't give that man any ideas, bro. We need the strangling whale to hang on. Oh, here we go. We have the Fang coming back in here. The White Fox again, keeping up the extra pressure for their team. This extra support. We're just barely hanging on. 2 picks are from Pokies on the Fire Song Inferno. That's a huge ultimate that we needed from St. Clair to hold on to this fight at the end. Jay can be taking down Pokies. Assuming, a portal coming out soon, but we have someone needs to contest right now. Okay, Detroit getting there, just in time. We see a pick there for our troubles, and we taken down because we're pushed into overtime. It's for opportunity to now contest the point. That's starting to get in there. I know how to play. Back on the Venom. Oh, he gets to contest the point just in time, but gets pushed off. Lander tries their damnedest, but St. Clair with the full hold is going to be taking this match number 2.
What a great portal back from St. Clair as well. And what a phenomenal match overall. So back and forth. I mean, we're 1-1 here, and I'm settling in for a 7-map series. How about you, Momo?
Honestly, yeah, I got nowhere to be. So I have to assume that these guys are going all the way. Insane work from both of these teams. St. Clair, again, after that unfortunate hold from last round, they shook it off, and it was the thing of holding those ultimates, right? The ult economy was looking much stronger for St. Clair in the second match. Not recognizing that once we had the invisible boundary up, we didn't get too aggressive. We burned the singular Galactic Legend on the part of another hero, and he put in insane amounts of work. Obviously, definitely earned on that MVP, as a Star-Lord was a menace to the entirety of the Lander backline in that game.
Yeah, and this is where, again, I talked about it earlier, but this is where the mental side is really going to come from, because both teams right now, hey, we've got a map. I guarantee both these teams are telling themselves that we're the better team. Hey, we just made a mistake here. We just made a mistake there. St. Clair different, like, hey, we lost 2 99 to 100s. We just switched this up. We're good there. Landers in there like, hey, we basically full held them on point 2. We stalled them out for like 4.5 minutes. We play like that every point, and we're good to go. So both teams are trying to, psych themselves up, rally around themselves, because they cannot break. The first team that really starts to fracture, and you talked about at the very beginning, snowballs are going to happen. You've got to do whatever you can to prevent that mental snowball.
As we move forward here into the next games, like Paul mentioned, we're probably going to be going all the way. I'd count on it if I were you, fair viewer. But unfortunately, we're not going to be going there just yet. As we run into a quick break, get the next match of this series queued up for your viewing pleasure. Make sure not to go anywhere. We will be right back. Alrighty, and just like that, we're back. Map number 3 of 7 in this best of 7 series, the NECC Regional Rivals Championship. We got Lander and St. Clair 1-1, and we're taking it to Tokyo 99 Spider Islands. I am Momo, back with Vol. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Still got some energy. I'm ready to go. And this is a map we were expecting. Little peek behind the curtain here. This was a map that we had maybe been told about a little bit. We had a little bit of we were told Lander likes this map just a little bit because this is mostly where they get a lot of their 3-0s.
Yeah, man,
they're excited for it.
You were asking about the map rotation beforehand, and our the coach of the Atlanta team was telling us, oh yeah, I know that we end on Convoy because usually we end on Spider Islands, so that's how I know running a set. Like, all right, you know what? That's cool.
Yeah, and I always see another Gambit ban. I'm gonna guess an Elsa ban here. Fanged Bubble, you put that away. We know you're not playing Black Panther. You're not gonna fool us that easily.
Absolutely not. Daring today our way.
Oh, a Gambit ban into an Elsa ban? Oh, you have to though, because like,
yeah, obviously.
I feel like it's just 50-50 if you let one of those two, because it's like, hey, either we have the better Gambit or they have the better Gambit, and that's going to decide who wins.
Exactly. But speaking of better things, though, Lander's definitely hanging on to that Groot after learning the Daredevil Protect. Now that is a power play. That's one of like 3. There's like 4 guaranteed bans, or like will almost always be banned. That's obviously Gambit, Elsa, Vanguard Pool, and Daredevil. And the Protect on Daredevil tells me they have got something nefarious planned. I'm scared.
Oh,
and the Namor bit, holy!
This is getting personal. This is getting real personal.
This is crazy.
Mean, you got to counter with the Van Pool ban, right? Because I mean, they've been saving it first every time. You can't just leave that open for them. No, they're sticking with this Bucky ban.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the autopilot bans here. The Protect here on Emma again. I mean, so same thing for Lander, but obviously St. Clair are changing things up in a strong way. It's definitely getting crazy right now.
I mean, this could be, though, they had they could have been doing some analysis on St. Clair and be like, these are the bands that are best against, like, even if they're winning on these other things, like, they're just incredibly strong on the Bucky. So I haven't done that research, so I'm going to trust that Lander themselves have put in that research, and they know that St. Clair is just a really strong Bucky team.
I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, the Bucky's just a good character, too. I won't ever fault you for banning it, but yeah, I mean, honestly,
it's not a bad ban, yeah.
The reactionary bans from St. Clair definitely a little bit charged, as we were saying.
Oh no, they missed the ban.
No, damn.
Oh man, I wonder if they were arguing between Vanpool or something else, and then they just kind of got stuck. That is unfortunate.
I mean, already St. Clair in a pretty great position going into this game.
You know what is open, though, that they banned out last time, though? We might be seeing some Groot Knight. I mean, Moon Knight here on Spider Islands is not a terrible pick, especially that first point where you have to walk down that straightaway. Like, those Moon Knight boomerang chakrams, whatever they are, do a ton of damage.
Also, another aspect to that, too, is Loki is a great strategist here. He's great on every combo now, especially in Spider Islands, though, so I feel like taking Moon Knight solely as a counter to that, I think, is always a great idea. I mean, not solely, but obviously, it's always, there's some good merit to that as well. But as St. Clair we see there, we're going to be sticking with the Moon Knight and Groot, the Strangling Hand of Khonshu, got Yoroi on the Venom, Pen on the Volman, and Poki's on the... Yeah, honestly, I think next map, we gotta see that Phoenix band, dude. Poki's been sitting comfortably every map.
3, 2.
Although, we have the unironic Penny play here as well. This is a very strong map for Penny. These mines are going to do a ton of work. They help prevent the dive. They help prevent, just a front-to-back walking push. So, and we see that there's just a bunch of them laying at the very front of those nests. You can kind of see them poking up just a little bit there. And we might see a Wolverine. Oh, if you get a Wolverine kidnapped into a Penny nest, you're just fried.
You're seeing a droid looking for it right there. Leroy just barely able to get out of that situation. Again, I don't know, trying to set up those mines, waiting for the opportunity for this counter to move up just a little bit. Obviously, St. Clair playing very cautious around that. Yeah, he's already 80% of the way there with Pokey's finding that pick. St. Clair has already got a great handle on this fight so far, especially considering all the damage coming out. My God.
I mean, both the DP has 80% on the Phoenix ult as well. I mean, this is Deadpool levels of ult building pretty much. And Adroit gonna reset there. Gonna just meet back with the team. Jay now swapping over. Oh, I like this. There's not a lot. There's not really a shield on the side of St. Clair there. So this assault rifle could be doing a ton of damage. And then, of course, if the Venom dives, sorry, if they try to dive at all or pressure back on that shotgun, is just gonna eviscerate any sort of tank.
We have Hydroids opting for the Black Panther, trying to go for a big dive into the back line. Not going to find too much momentum with those runes are going to absolutely shut you down. Yeah, Detroit going down to Pokies there. Like you mentioned before, Pokies putting the pressure on that Phoenix. We have Roses trying to shut down, hold the point here with this Emma. And I don't know, can we take it out of the air as that Venom there. We have Jay trying to pepper down some extra damage here on high with this Punisher. Might be too little too late considering. Oh, but a pick there on another hero.
Yeah, and Adroit gets another one to match. There's still 0.4 meters left to go, and there might be holding here. We do see, yep, he's going to drop down with the Judge, Jury, Executioner, the final judgment, but it's not going to get any kills as Jay goes down himself. Unfortunate. Nothing is working on the side of the... I mean, they're having the right swaps, they're doing the right things, but it's just this composition from St. Clair with the runes to stop the dive, the walls to just, you know, annoy the Punisher, and then Moon Knight just putting in all of this just consistent ricochet damage. I don't know what you do on the side of Landon, as now it's right back to this fighting.
We're trying to mix up the con here again, being consistently agile, spry, ready to mix things up on the fly. But Adroit trying to find an opening here, gonna find the big, the sneaky pick there on Ace, taking down that Loki. Gives Roses an arm the opportunity to run in there with that Psionic Seduction. We're gonna allow to get the CYA coming out from the Rocket, and I don't know how to play, gonna pull out the Feast of the Abyss. The fight win is gonna be going to Lander, but with every single ultimate burned in doing so.
Okay. But I do like this playstyle swap from the Spider-Man. Instead of just going for the backline kills, he's pulling them away from the Loki runes or uppercutting them out of the runes to get the kills, getting them out of that area of effectiveness. And that is a phenomenal adaptation that we see from KDA here. As the Venom goes in, Spidey comes in to follow, looking for the pull, doesn't quite get it, but he is going to stay in here, looking for some extra damage here, trying to build that ultimate. He's so close.
We have this Venom sitting up, trying to catch this aggressive push in from St. Clair. With a big Loki ultimate coming out. We're going to have to copy on. Oh, yeah, it's going to be EpiPen with the invisible boundary. Poke's going to find the double picks there. With Fang and Jay going down. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Detroit obviously looking at seeing the opportunity. They're seeing this entire team falling and just taking the opportunity to get out of there. St. Clair going to be claiming the point in fruition. Are we seeing the strange pick here?
I feel like that was a jump scare for Detroit there. Like, oh, I'm gonna just try to pull somebody out of the invisible boundary and get some Venom. Just like, oh no, you can go back. I'm just gonna gently pushes him back. But we do see looking for the ultimate here, trying to get the invisible woman, but the shield is being such an annoyance. Get the kill anyway with the uppercut.
Ooh, golly. We're gonna find a big pick with the. Oh my God, the Feast of the Abyss. I don't know how to play me taking down IJ. Oh, and I've actually be taking down Pokies. Somehow, some way, Lander still holding on this point. With both Emma and the Invisible Woman gonna be locking it down. Strong wave. Venom's still hanging out here. Unfortunately, Roy staggering himself pretty hard for this next fight.
Yeah. I tell you what, this has become a staple of Lander, at least that we've seen in this matchup. The 99s to 100s that hold on, they just don't die. You cannot put this team away for good ever, and that's going to carry you far. Just being difficult to put down, you're always giving yourself that chance to win. But we see the Magneto now for JJ has that Meteor in, ready to go. But I don't know quite what he's going to use on. Maybe counter the CYA here from Fang, I guess, because that way you can't shoot the overcharged bullets. But it's going to be difficult to get a good ult.
Tough coming out there. We got the revive on Katie Adroit. Trying to hang on. The big spectre spin, but not going to find any picks though. Trying as hard as to find that Loki pick there. Not going to. Ace is still hanging on. Poke's going to find the pick there on Adroit. And they're trying their damage with all the ultimates coming out. And they'll be taking down Ace. And Poke's again taking down Bathtub. Feeds time and time again, taking up all the pressure of this back line. But now I don't want to play on this Van Pool. Bringing in so much work here, hanging on all the survivability and all this damage.
And now, just like that, we're at last fight territory now. There's 30 seconds left. Like, Vander has just let this cart slow move, you have to give up so much blood just to push this cart for St. Clair. And oh, that's a big pull!
Oh, not the Meteor M! Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. You don't even care if you die there. Like, that's a win for somebody, right?
Absolutely. It gives the perfect opportunity for one of your strategists to pop their ultimate if need be in this final fight. It's definitely what Bathtub Toad is looking for here. As these little battery getting pocking it towards the end, at the back end of this cart. Fortunately, I don't know how to play going down. Jake gonna find the pick there on Ace. Ain't gonna find a pin getting out of there. So this Magneto without the Meteor M. The strategists are hanging on pretty much scot-free. Give the straight to come back in time with this portal. Will be too little too late.
It's just now popping out. Oh, the DP runs through.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Oh, the eye of Agamotto will be taking out Detroit. Whoa. And I don't know how to play through that portal. Hanging on to that the entirety of that time. Roy pulling out that strange in a perfect timing with his ultimate. And that's going to be the point going to St. Clair.
Oh, what a great portal. The Deadpool able to dash through just in time, about 2 meters. Unfortunately, though, great target focus from St. Clair puts it into that. But now, I mean, there's a minute left on the clock for this final push here, and you've got to imagine that this is going to be just an absolute bloodbath for St. Clair if they want to try pushing this card all the way.
They're trying their damnedest, trying to pull it back through on this final point. We have the access to the God of Mischief and the Firesong Inferno just barely around the corner. With 52 seconds left on the board, though, of course, the Banhammer looking to have some sort of sustain and extra pressure on the opposing team. CYA coming out, the team back. We need to win this fight immediately here. Use the extra damage boost, push forward. We're going to find the pick there on Roy. But unfortunately, Jay can be going down JJ. And another Firesong Inferno will be taking down Bathtub Toad, breaking through that Rocket Ultimate, and finding a pick with the extra cherry on top.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be such a great play from Fang. They're getting the CYA out before the Insong Inferno. Like, hey, it's not going to get destroyed, and now you're 30% up, but Pokey's still getting 2 kills from it. I mean, Pokey on this Phoenix, it has to get damaged next map. But oh, KDA gets 2 with the fantastic spin.
Ackerson going to find a great double pick there at the end there. Big 5 second for coming out from Jay. In these final moments, after the pick there, just barely, the extra damage will come out in spades. Can be taking now Poke's in the last Detroit can be hanging on, and the revive there on Roses. Jay can be taking down Roy, and with all this winding down, we have the pick here towards the end. This Captain America, Mr. Stallman himself, has locked into the point, but will it be enough? It might not be.
No, it's looking like, yes, Jay's gonna get the kill after swapping over to the Phoenix, trying to get their mirror, just slowing them down enough, and that is going to be the hold for Lander on point 2. Just 97 meters from St. Clair there. Now it is winnable for Lander. No chance of overtime here.
Absolutely. I mean, considering the way this last convergence map went down, we know St. Clair definitely has it in him for this full hold. But I mean, honestly, the Spider-Man and the pressure from this Emma was definitely giving it to St. Clair in those final couple minutes. You know, it was looking like the Adroit was looking much more composed as the game goes on.
Yeah, and Adroit being we talked about this map, incredibly efficient here from Adroit. 7,500 damage, 11 final hits with 17 total elim. I mean, yeah, you may not like it when you get an insta-lock Spidey, but man, if I can get a Spidey to get 11 kills on 7,500 damage, I'm liking my ranked games there. So, great job by Dre. And now it's pushing themselves over to the Daredevil here. Interesting swap up.
Listen to music. I punish criminals.
Oh, yeah, the Daredevil is always a great character. But yeah, switching off of Spider-Man when you had all that momentum, I guess you're assuming they're going to be going for some kind of Spider-Man counterplay in this next round. Maybe some preemptive. Maybe was he just scoping out the comp? Is that what that was?
He was just using it. He was using it for the wall
That's
hacks.
crazy.
That is crazy to have.
Yo, ref, do something, please. That's nuts.
This man's walling and spawn.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's such a smart play though, getting to know the enemy comp. So now they know exactly what the enemy is running. So if they needed to make any swaps, or if there's anything cheeky happening from the side of St. Clair, they knew about it ahead of time, and they're using that information. Jay getting the opening kill onto the Magneto.
We have a Drake coming in there again. The Spider-Man meets. Oh, the 1v1 and taking out another hero. A crazy flip, as opposed to match number 1 where another hero was taking it on his Spider-Man, and now Lander turning that back on its head. Much more aggressive here out of spawn right now.
Yeah, and that enemy aim across JJ so close, but so much. That's so much ult charge now for the supports on the side of St. Clair, but so many abilities having to be used, and unfortunately, I don't think there's anything to save the Spider-Man here. Oh, Jay wanted the shotgun kill so bad. Now Spidey gets the health back, and we see a Jordan. Oh, go for get the clip, get the pull.
Oh, finds the pick there on Ace. Not going to find the pull, but definitely a great pick in the back line there.
Oh, Jay.
Could be a pick, so near the hero trying to get out of there, but Jay going to find the pick on them running into that health pack room with the bit of momentum of the lead. We have her running in with this shotgun. Oh my goodness, he's looking like a Doom Slayer right now. Goodness gracious.
Back shot after back shot after back shot with the shotgun there from Jay. Oh my goodness. They never saw that coming. And that triple kill gonna secure the point for the side of Lander, and now 448 in the time bank. Oh my goodness, this is looking like a good run for that. Okay, Phoenix gonna reset there, but it feels like more of a stagger than a reset, as the fight's kind of almost happening here up front. At least the DPS are looking for one.
And now we have the final judgment in the back pocket for Jay, trying to get some extra damage here on the opposing team. We have Bassetto sitting here on the Luna, the Fate of Both Worlds sitting in the back pocket if need be. And Drake, I mean, on this part of the map on attack, you know, he's looking for some cheeky little Spider-Man shenanigans, floating around that, playing around that health pack. And taking away Poki's attention, which might be huge even through the middle boundary. Jay Fox still hanging out in the Fate of Both Worlds, but still goes down.
The focus fire is insane out of St. Clair. They had Fate of Both Worlds and Invisible Boundary up, and he still goes down. I feel like this is one of those scenarios where it's like, hey, you just don't pop Q anymore if you're Jay, because you're getting so much value out of base Punisher. Just leave the ultimate, because it's just pressing Q to die. So just don't worry about it.
That put some pep in my step.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely tempting to queue it there with all the enemies backed up. But yeah, like you mentioned, it's going to get hard focus there as we get into this next point. We have still the Meteor M in a spectacular spin with no strategist ultimates on the side of St. Clair. Obviously, this is fresh pickings for the Spider-Man if Adroit is so inclined to run in there and make it his business at least. But speaking of aggressive ultimates, we got the Galactic Legend coming out from another hero. Gonna find 2 picks there towards the end. Switching off that Spider-Man, gonna make it everybody's problem. With 2 picks from both sides, it is looking like St. Clair's position to win this fight. Adroit has to get out of there and reset.
Yeah, if Adroit can get out of there, there'll be a good amount of ult charge for his supports. Looks like he's just going to grab the health pack, and now we are good to go. I can't believe that another hero got killed with the Galactic Legend while I don't know how to play, was using the Meteor. Usually that's good enough to slow it down enough to where somebody can, you know, shoot him out of the sky, especially when you have a Punisher, you know, with that, you know, that solid hit scan. I just don't understand it. But good pulls here from the side of Lander with the Invisible One, with the Spider-Man, just a lot of displacement.
We have Lander trying to hang on here with all the incessant damage from St. Clair, the Loki coming out, the Magneto fighting so hard, the Psionic Seduction coming out from JJ, trying to push them back even further. You have the reset in the back line with Adroit and Jay looking for their opportunity, looking for the sites to strike with the double invisible boundaries up there as soon as those go down, because this is the opportunity to run in there with a shotgun and make it everyone else's problem. With the Loki burning his ultimate too, that's both strategists' ultimates coming out again on the back burner. Another hero gonna have the picks there on Jay, and Jay gonna be taking down Roses. You see this opportunity when you're waiting at the strike zone, you're waiting for your time to strike, but now it's just the rest of St. Clair going to run in there and catch you when your pants is down.
Yeah, but this is looking so good right now for Rose. Both support out off the table. Yeah, there's the meteor in there, but I mean, they're not gonna really be able to resolve it. Yeah, here they go early on, looking for the pulls, but didn't get any of the abilities out. Didn't get any of the magneto bubbles or the shield. Kind of just ran in and hit Q, but it seems to at least be somewhat effective. Uh-oh,
We have finally some.
That's extra Punisher happening here.
Get out of there, away from that 5-second Inferno, and there he goes, a huge picks coming out from Pokies, and getting jumped in the back line there. I mean, JJ and Pokies looking like a dream team right now in this game. I mean, Jordan's barely making back to spawn, but with a minute left, would still have access to the Galactic Hero, the Psionic Seduction, and the Invisible Boundary. We need to see a crazy fit from Lander to somehow hang on and move forward here in this game.
Get the pull? Oh man, if they would have gotten that pull, that would have been so huge for them. JJ might be looking to go down. No! 1 HP, gets the runes out and gets saved again with another Psionic Seduction coming out. And this is not looking good for Lander. They're in final fight territory with just 30 seconds left. But, gets the response kill onto JJ. Yep, Meteor M comes out, stops the Galactic Legends coming out, and can we get an elimination with it? No, we just get Loki points. But, hey, that's less healing, less damage out on the side for St. Clair. The Invisible Boundary doesn't really get anybody back up to full health, and we just see more kills coming in for the favor of Lander. If we can get this stagger this Magneto up, that could be point for St. Clair, but we do see JJ swap over, gonna get the teleport from the Strange. And this is true final fight territory here. As the Final Judgment comes out, doesn't die immediately this time though. We're learning.
I can do that portal there again. Big Meteor and the slam dunk on top of Jay. They're coming up for a Dragon to find 3 picks. Huge. Spider-Man able to clutch up in this last moment and take that happy point in general. Oh my god, the Spider-Man against the world right now.
Give him fly.
Portal be damned. He's looking for more. He's looking to take it all the way. Oh, he drops back down there. Can we still hang on here? After all the work your Spider-Man put in, no way your point drops down here still. You get the point. Forget this Phoenix. Oh my.
Rose isn't going to be able to TP in time. We've got to stall out a little bit more. And unfortunate. What a hold from St. Clair, putting them up 2-1 in this best of 7 series. But once again, what a tightly fought, phenomenal map. I mean, this is just an outright slobber knocker between these two teams.
Absolutely insane work at the end there from St. Clair, holding on that point perfectly. I mean, honestly, Adroit did his damnedest trying to hold on with that Spider-Man towards the end, but it was the fact of the focused fire perfectly. It was the team cohesion. We saw how both AJ and Adroit were playing, trying to force their own interactions, like waiting out those strategists, ultimates playing behind their team. And whenever they were playing passive, waiting for those strategists to go down, we saw the aggressive pushes from JJ and Pokies, punishing them for playing so passively in their backline, saying, hey, if you're not going to interact with these big team fights, then we'll bring the fight to you. And it completely snowballing after that. Pokies consistently putting up the pressure there with this Phoenix. I mean, I'm going to say it, like, if we don't see a Phoenix band next game, what are we doing? That being said, though, that's going to be St. Clair going up 2-1 in the series. As again, we are still in a best of 7 territory. We have all the time in the world to hang out. St. Clair still needs to win 2 more games to take it all the way. Lander needs to win 3. We've still got a lot of action coming through. With that, of course, means we're going to be throwing it to a quick little break. Should not to go anywhere. We will be right back.
Hello, one and all. Welcome back to what has been an absolute fantastic matchup we have here between Lander University and St. Clair's College. It has been just a back and forth brutal battle. I'm Volnilo. I'm joined by the fantastic Momo here. I mean, how have you been feeling about this match?
Honestly, man, as the time goes on, I just get more and more excited. These players have been putting their all out there, and so many times I'm thinking a game's going to go one way or another, but clearly I am proven wrong time and time again. As we get in to this match number 4, I'll leave all like, how do we, like, what changes do you think need to be made, or like, how do we feel about who's going to be taking this whole thing?
Yeah, we're going back to domination, the one map type that Lander did win. So I don't know if we're gonna see a Phoenix ban here, but definitely as we go back to Convoy and Convergence, as the maps get longer and the sight lines get longer, you absolutely have to start banning out that hero. Whereas when we're in a tight map like Hell's Heaven, where all 3 maps are kind of very condensed, I think that Bucky ban still is going to hold true because that displacement is just so much more valuable than the long range poke that you're going to get from a Phoenix.
There we go. Again, we're saying bans right off the bat. We got the Gambit ban and the Elsa ban. No one's surprised there. We actually have the Namor Protect.
Safe.
Yeah. Recognizing last game where the Namor ban came out from St. Clair. Actually going to be protecting it with our Protect on the part of Lander. And the other side, we got St. Clair actually going to be protecting the Daredevil once again.
Yeah. All right, and then the group very oppressive on domination maps with those walls. I mean, you're talking an already small map getting made even smaller on one side. Like, it's just, and there it is. We see the Phoenix ban. Okay, so this is going to leave Bucky open potentially if St. Clair wants to save it here with their second save. It could potentially be a third ban, though, for Lander. And he saved the cloak as well.
Mm-hmm. We saw
I like this.
Cloak actually got banned. Yeah, exactly. So, again, here we go. We were talking about reactionary bans, adapting to the moment, actually protecting the Winter Soldier. I mean, you mentioned before on the fly ball, but I mean, clearly they were looking to utilize the Winter Soldier. I guess there's a Winter Soldier player in the mist here.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that's gonna be Pokey on the Winter Soldier. I because another hero's been playing the I think the Daredevil's gonna be for another hero, and then we're gonna have Pokey on this Bucky. We see a Loki ban. Not usually something you usually like the Loki if you're the Bucky, because it can help you with the resets on your ultimate and stuff like that. Probably just wanting to get away from the runes though. And a Star-Lord ban last.
Pick your
That's
hero or villain.
interesting.
I'm not judging.
I mean, recognizing all the momentum that another hero has been getting out of Star-Lord and the Galactic Legends, clearly you can't blame them for going that route.
We do see the animated Lord highlighted from another hero there real quick. They had it up there. So clearly a lot of proficiency on that hero. But my guess is we're going to see a Bucky v. Bucky, and then, yeah, it's going to be this Namor versus Daredevil. And I think the rest might be fairly even, although we do see the tank pool versus the Emma Frost yet again, which has favored the Emma Frost, in my opinion.
And we do have
30 seconds
a bit more
before you
freedom
attack.
when playing around Namor as Daredevil as opposed to Spider-Man, a lot more of a linear character when going up against him. Or seeing another hero. Obviously still has it in the back pocket. If you're going to be playing around with whatever character you're feeling more comfortable with. We're definitely going for the portal strat here.
We're going for it again.
We're going for it.
Now, this happened to St. Clair once before already, and I don't believe it did get 1 kill, but it kind of favored St. Clair in the end there. And they know it happened once, so they've got to be suspecting it happens the second time, right?
I mean, we have the Bucky pull now. So, like...
Oh, God, we do have the Bucky pull with the Invis Woman pull.
Oh, they're looking for something silly right now. We can guess see Magneto coming through here.
A little early.
Yeah. A little overzealous coming out there with that pull. And now Lander's going to get there and activate. Just utilizing this portal to just get in there and not worrying about the kidnap at this point. Saying, you know what, we got the portal, we're going to jump in there and get active. But unfortunately, St. Clair looking a little more ready to get Pokies gets the first pick of this point. But Jay immediately right after, and Rose is going to be taking down Yori. even after all of that, somehow Lander is still coming out on top in this fight.
I think you read it right. It kind of gave, like, okay, the kidnap didn't work, but it gave them priority on point there. And this is going to be first cap very quickly over to Lander as they just put all of that beef on point. They plopped the tanks down, said, hey, go at it. And Jay did work, you know, being mobile on Bucky and putting those squids at the right angle from a droid. And we see a fantastic first fight there from Lander.
Now we have this Doctor Strange waiting up here, up aggressive on this front line again. I mean, it really comes down to the spacing you can hold on domination maps, especially before these fights. Every little percent of the point does count. Lander, of course, are trying to take the momentum and run with it. We have a lot of that extra momentum here on Namor. And his White Fox as well, getting that AoE heal. Seeing how St. Clair can break through here. It might be with the side flank here on this Daredevil.
Oh, but Fang teleports in, goes down though. Didn't quite have the other abilities to hold up through the rest of the fight. Although we do see this JJ Magneto gets about 1 HP every time he pokes his head through the door, so the rest of his teammates are gonna have to do the work. As he has finally healed up the full, and now a lot of pressure coming from St. Clair as they just walk over Lander. Wow, they got the kill onto the Fang White Fox there and just absolutely steamrolled the rest of it. And now here comes the big fight. Everybody's got their ultimates either online or within, you know, 15%, except for 2 of the tanks there, but they're still incredibly close in the fight. So this is going to be the fight of efficiency. Who can get the kills more efficiently than the other? Who doesn't have to invest as heavily to win this fight?
And walking up here, Jay gonna try to find some interview, especially with that cracking impact in the back pocket. Big Eye of Agamotto, but great reaction from Ace going that visible boundary, literally milliseconds away from the entire tank going down. And Pokey's gonna make I don't know how to play suffer for that one. The cracking impact comes out, continuing this onslaught here. And St. Clair running a lot of ultimates for that rebuttal though. As the only one left in the back pocket is going to be the Daredevil.
I feel like there's just a small disconnect between, I don't know how, on the string specifically with the rest of the team, because the portal was just slightly off time, you know, letting the Magneto get there, and then a phenomenal 4-man Agamotto, but nobody from his team was there to follow up, and then he died inside the invisible boundary that Ace phenomenally placed there just in time. You said it, like a millisecond of time between getting stunned and getting
Let the devil out!
And we immediately jump back to the point. Yeah, Jay getting absolutely overwhelmed as Daredevil coming out in spades, getting all that extra damage back up. Another hero going down, but St. Clair already looking pretty strong for the rest of this fight in this 4v5. Fang trying to keep their team up here with this White Fox. Doctor Strange coming back up at 90%. Probably seeing the portal coming. Yep, there it goes.
I like this too. Kind of forces the team back, you know, kind of creates the space easily for them. And now you have access to the backline here as we see the invisible goes down immediately. What a phenomenal TP is the Bucky is now in the backline.
Getting all this pressure out there with the cracking impact. The Pokey was the double picks there. Oh my god, they're having an insane Bucky off right now.
It's a Bucky
oh my
off.
god, the Bucky off. Oh, the portal. Oh my god, the portal betrayal. Oh my god. And St. Clair somehow clinches it out as I'm sorry, Lander, for doubting y'all. I see why you've been banning Bucky every game. This Pokey is a problem on this character. 13 final hits, bro. Are we serious?
8,000 damage. 8k damage. That's not okay. Like, look, Pokey, these people you're playing against have families. You can't be doing this to them. This is, I don't know if we're going to be able to use this recording. This might violate some sort of Marvel Rival TOS. This is a bloodbath. Oh my goodness.
The surface world.
And if you're Lander, like, what is your rebuttal to this, right? Like, there are some characters, there's like an obvious counter, like, oh, you're struggling with Spider-Man, you go Namor. Struggling with Black Panther, you go Thing. What do you do if Pokey is like threatening with Black Panther? What's the call here?
Yeah, like I understand the things. Okay, Thing can't get hooked, but I feel like it's not Pokey's hooks that are really doing the work here. I feel like he's getting great use out of the Trooper's Fist and just general damage with like a little bit of displacement here. We haven't seen like a crazy 3-4 hero hook. You know, it's just been great neutral Bucky play from Pokey.
Well, I mean, it's been Pokeys from Pokeys, I'll say that much. Like, the damage has been incessant and a little bit too much for especially with Pokey's immediately dominating Jay in the 1v1, and that's immediately a lead there from St. Clair. Who are going to be taking down, I don't know, JJ taking down Bathtub, and that is going to be St. Clair taking the first fight in a dominant fashion. My goodness.
And I honestly, I do want to give a shout out to another hero here, as I feel like he's also enabling this Bucky by constantly being on that off angle, whereas Adroit on the Namor is playing kind of with the back line, with the rest of the core. So it's creating more angles for Pokies here, as the backline has to look at this Daredevil, has to look at this actual threat, whereas Namor is just kind of that mid-range slow play there. But now we're getting aggressive here as the NECC charge comes in from I don't know how to play. And they get the headshot from Hella, another one from Jay, and the squids come in from Adroit.
Oh yeah, there you go, big pick there.
Mm-hmm.
And those ult taking that fight back into their favor. So still not claiming the point though. Again, honestly, St. Clair finding a lot of momentum here, continuing their coverage. 44%, definitely nothing to scoff at. The ult economy looking pretty strong on the part of St. Clair. Both teams actually, as we are rounding out on around 4 ultimates each. It really just comes down to who's going to have the gumption to run in there and force the next fight.
Yeah. And we do see Jay, like you mentioned, swapping off the Bucky onto the Helen now. As we do see the thing try to slam him in place, but Bucky's so mobile, just avoids the charge and is able to get value and get back up. And now we see it's clobbering time. It's on the menu. Are we gonna see it here? No, we see the Kumio come out first and create quite a bit of space here for Landon. That's another fight one for Landon, it looks like.
Ooh, after all, the entirety of your team going down, Ace going to be burning that visible boundary. Definitely an unfortunate cooldown to be burning in the end of that fight. But also been burning the Horde of Proteus in the part of KJ.
Yeah.
Honestly, you didn't need to. Like, you already had the fight in the bag.
Oh, and they used the clobbering time whale combo inside of the. Oh God, I feel like that's such a win for St. Clair. It's a good combo, but I feel like it's such a win for St. Clair, right?
I mean, it wasn't necessary. You already won the fight at that point. Even though they didn't die in the hole, but like, they died a couple seconds later. And now we have the Meteor M and the Kraken Impact. These are 2 ultimates that could straight up like ruin your day. But I mean, the Gods of Death, this is an ultimate that absolutely can shake up the momentum of the fight in a second.
Yeah, early pick there from Android, but yeah, I'm worried about this Bucky Magneto team, because if the Bucky pops out and then you pop Magneto Meteor M, you can't shoot the Bucky. You just can't shoot it. But he goes down to the Fox before Magneto can pop the. Oh, what a great trade there from Fang. Getting the Bucky for the life of your other support. I think you take that win.
Now Jay putting in the work with this Hella. Finally goes down to JJ. But definitely some valid momentum there for their team. We have JJ going to find a lot, and Reroy coming back there with the Emma. But 96% and still hanging on to the Gods of Death. Definitely not too bad for Lander in that position. Now
every time. Yeah, you mentioned this Goddess of Death, such a strong ult, can easily pick up 2-3 kills, or even just using it to zone them off just to make sure that you secure point there. And then you have the Whale follow-up, you have this Eternal Bond follow-up. You've got quite a few ults, and you don't need them though, because Jay gets the right-click kill onto Pokies, who has been the biggest threat from St. Clair. And Adroit follows up with an elimination of her own after the Whale comes out.
Well, yeah, Adroit can find the double picks there at the Horn of Proteus, and the big Meteor M coming from JJ, of course, you're letting it rip. Gonna find the pick there on Fang towards the end of that fight. Lander's gonna be propping a lot of those ults. No time for OT as we just take the point back, and Lander taking it in a pretty dominant fashion. Once again, bringing us to a round 3.
Yeah, round 3 on domination seems to be. I mean, every map is just gonna be wire to wire, just fantastic kills back and forth. But yeah, this Hella from Jay kind of turning the tables here on Poki's Bucky. Able to keep him out at range. You have the bird to get away if he tries to, slam in on you.
30 seconds before
you have your own E ability to, hold him in place possibly and, get the headshot there. So I like the swap, but it is going to look like a quick ult advantage here on the side of St. Clair, as they have both of their support ults to elongate the fight coming up here. As you see a tank and a support, 2 tanks and a support coming up for Lander. Nothing to really kill through these support ults, so I gotta imagine this is just gonna be a really long fight, or Jay's gonna hit 2 headshots and end the fight. And Lander's like, I don't see this fight going any other way. Although another one might get a pick. Now that he's back on the Daredevil.
The other one goes. Clearly, it's not going to be passive one at least as you run things down to the side room. Get to take this fight early on, splitting up the teams here. And St. Clair with only access to that missile boundary and that cloak and dagger ultimately back here, setting up here on this point early on. Oh yeah, all of them fully by themselves. It's really burning this White Fox ultimate. Yeah, can find the big pick early on from Jay. And I don't know, play taking down to Roy. It's already a 6v4 on the part of Lander. You called it perfectly. Jay gonna find the early pick and just perfectly set up Lander in this winning position here in this fight.
Look, I'm not right very often, so I'm gonna toot my own horn when I finally get one. But yeah, what a phenomenal pick by Jay, and then forcing the early ult from EpiPen Enjoyer. That's not how you want to use that Cloak and Dagger ultimate. Yeah, sure, you made enough space and you got 14%, but Lander's in control here, and they only needed to use the Kumiho and the Psionic Seduction. Now you've got Meteor M online, you're close to a Horn of Proteus, and you still got to worry about Jay just clicking your head in general.
Yeah, man, I mean, Hella, one of those characters that somehow has fallen off the radar, but I mean, she's always insane. You know, the amount of damage she just from simply clicking heads. But I mean, you got clicking heads and you got people just dropping on top of heads. Really another hero is going for here. And oh my god, Pokey, the triple crack and impact. Oh my god, we stopped looking at Pokey for 1 second, and yeah, the whole team falls over.
Some unfortunate timing for Lander there as the map point started to move and their backline, especially Jay on that Hella, kind of got locked into this, oh shoot, do I push forward with them or do I fall back? And it kind of just was a very advantageous, and Pokey ulting at that point in time.
That is much better.
We're talking about a perfectly timed ultimate. That was a perfectly timed ultimate from Pokey here as we come in now, the point shifting closer to the spawns. As this, I feel like this fight though favors Lander, but look at the ult that they have here. They need to use it wisely though. You can't waste anything, otherwise St. Clair will punish them.
Here we go, the aggressive Cloak and Dagger ult coming back in there. The big Meteor M coming out from JH, sitting behind this corner. Yep, getting out of the line of sight from that. From the pick there on Pokey, getting the opportunity to run back in and regress this fight. Not going to Horn of Proteus is going to find a lot of extra damage outside of that. No ultimate is necessary. Lander, a big aggressive push back in. Look at the perfect position with 4 ultimates to spare.
Yeah, you just needed the one Cloak and Dagger. And also great jobs from Adroit there using the Hella team up, getting that anti-heal out there. Really, just making it easier for everybody. Like, hey, we've got 150 heals per second with our ultimate, and they can't heal themselves as efficiently. Everybody's just pressing W, and now we're closing in 35% away. This could be, if they draw this out long enough, this could be final fight and a tied series 2-2 for Lander. We see an early ult from the Daredevil here, though.
Yeah, they're running the Devil out, but this White Fox putting in the pressure, keeping the team up. Not going to find any picks there on the Meteor M. I don't know how Blake can be taken down. Jay now sitting in the back line. Wait a minute. Not going to burn that pocket of death. Honestly, been sitting on that Gust of Death for a long time.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them try to bird into the point and try to just use it to cover this point here there. Because I mean, we're 10% away. Like if you win this fight, it's last fight. But now, I guess they're just gonna hold on. I mean, both support ults were used from St. Clair, so now you have both DPS ults, a Cloak and Dagger, and an Emma ult here. I mean, St. Clair had to bet the house on winning that fight, and they did. But now going into this, I'm assuming this is going to be the final fight here because we're at 70%. This is such favored. Oh, he knows you're there.
What are we doing? What are we doing? No way you got out of there alive.
There's no way. There's no way he was hold. The squid takes care of him.
Oh, but with the attention taken away, Rosa went down to Roy. Actually, it's going to be St. Clair taking an early lead here in this fight. Detroit being taken down by JJ. You see Jay actually going to walk behind here. It's finally time for the Gust of Death. Can someone hold the point here for this team? And can JJ get the momentum? He's finally going to proc the ultimate there. Do we find some picks in the back line? Well, letting it rip.
Definitely get some damage.
Back for damage that we definitely need right now. JJ going down. Not just like getting some big picks, but again, opening up space for your team. And with that, oh yeah. Oh my god. Can we hold? No, there we go. St. Clair in the last seconds of that game dropped down, putting Lander once again up on the board 2-2, bringing this to a map 5 with an evened up series.
This has now just this is now just essentially a 3-map series. It's best of 3 now. What a what a great match. I mean, we're getting 99 to 100s all the time. We're getting maps going into overtime swapping. Like this is just what a great fight between these two teams as we see. I just look at the stat line alone. We see 15 elims from Adroit on there, but 24 from Pokey's Bug. We see why the Bucky has been banned, but they let the Bucky through and won the map. So maybe this opens things up for Lander. Maybe they continue this Phoenix ban as we get into these maps that are much more longer. You know, they're gonna have, especially something like Yggdrasil Path of Rigo there. I mean, that's a Phoenix playground.
Yeah, man. And with that, I mean, as you can see right now, this is as close as the Steers could possibly be going into this match number 5 as we come back very soon to this convergence game. With only 3 possible matches left, and I mean, we called it early on. Will not be surprised. Probably expecting at this point to see a match number 7. Of course, that means we got to get the next match amped up. We have some extra time to get all this action ready. So it means we'll be taking it to a quick little break. Make sure not to go anywhere. We'll be right back. As the set continues to wind down, the energy is not going anywhere. We are back.
Nope.
Map 5 of 7 of this series of Lander University versus St. Clair College. I am Mama back with Vol, and we're bringing you all the action. Bringing it to Ixgard on Yggdrasil Path. Vol, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. And this, I mean, this is the classic map. This map has been in here. This was one of the 2 alpha maps that people got to play. So, I mean, teams pretty much have this map almost figured out at this point. And you know, there's a lot of strats that teams use. And I'm going to be interested to see what these 2 teams have in their back pockets, because now we're in the final 3 maps here. There's no time, there's no time to be, coy and to hide something here. Like if you've got a strategy, if you've got a hero pick, if you've got a flank route, show us here and now. The championship is on the line here. The undefeated season is on the line.
We got a lot of. Oh, whoa! You forget all our analysis, but we're just letting bands go like that.
There's gonna be either an
Wow.
Elsa or a Gambit in this map, then probably.
Oh, okay. Wait, we're gonna.
Are we gonna remake?
We got to remake. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna remake.
Let's relax. The whole band. Whoa! No, we stopped.
Okay. Okay.
We're getting crazy. A little bit of unfortunate technical difficulties, but this is it's an online game, online stream. This is just what happens sometimes, But as we load things back, fix things back, we have more time to talk about, set the scene. Like you mentioned, right? This is Lander. Obviously, not as much stakes on this. Looking to continue to hold their undefeated season, but St. Clair, they need to win this series to move forward into nationals.
It will remake. So it was supposed to be a convergence, not a convoy. That was the reason for the remake, folks. And now we are on Central Park from the Empire of Eternal Night. Moon Knight's gonna try to get into Dracula's castle because that fool owes him $5.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, considering some of the tactics we saw earlier in games, like maybe the Squirrel Girl, like I don't know,
Very
man.
viable on this map.
Exactly, dude. We might see some nonsense getting into this map, but I mean, if I had to guess, obviously we're seeing the Gambit ban
Yeah.
immediately out the gates to St. Clair.
I've got to imagine we see the Gambit Elsa. Just, hey, I don't want to deal with this. You don't want to deal with this. It's the handshake ban that kind of happens. But I'm interested to see. I would love for Lander to keep that Namor save. I feel like a droid on that Namor is just doing so much work with those squids, and especially with that team up with the undead squids and the anti-heal and the hella damage boost that she gets with that. That's such a good comp for their playstyle.
The group protection immediately coming out. Definitely don't want to risk losing your Groot here for this game.
Oh, the Phoenix save!
Oh wow, Pokey's. I mean, honestly, Pokey's looking like completely converted away from the Bucks. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Sticking with the Phoenix, because the Phoenix has been putting in incredible amounts of work. I mean, I guess the Bucky, but not even maybe the Vanpool, Star-Lord. I think Star-Lord.
I think Star-Lord. Although I don't disagree with, maybe they're definitely having a discussion here, but I think a Vanpool ban would be phenomenal, as we've seen Yoroi just do dirty work on that. But we're going to see an early Loki ban. Okay, so no more runes to deal with for your diver.
Never opposed to a Loki ban in any sense. I mean, Loki is a great character, so definitely we'll always work out taking the map, especially on a convergence map like this and all the different angles you can get. As you run 40 for the second protect, to assume something like the Emma. Yep, we've taken with the Emma. The Vanguard protects consistently. Been working out with seeing the invisible ban.
Okay, invisible woman save. Don't want to make sure that they at least with the cloak and dagger and the Loki ban. They didn't want the short and
ban.
Love that. I love that.
I mean, surely you rebuttal with the. Oh
no.
I was gonna say, surely you rebuttal with the Star-Lord ban afterwards, right?
I feel like you have. You can't give them Phoenix Star-Lord like we saw on Spider Islands. Like that was just so much oppressive firepower coming out from them. As you've got the Phoenix with those spark buildup marks, and then just over the top with the Star-Lord ult and everything like that. It's just a lot of pressure that I feel like Lander just can't respond with. Their DPS are certainly talented, but you've already had your Namor that's been such a phenomenal pick for you to get banned out. You're kind of forced now onto this Groot Emma tank line, so you want to have some sort of poke, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do here. You have to match the Phoenix, I guess.
I mean, like, what else could you possibly ban? I mean, you got to ban like Star-Lord. You got to ban like Vanpool, like maybe like who else, dude? Like Mag? Question mark? Like, I'm trying to think of like where we could possibly take this ban, and like obviously the safe normal idea that we're going for is like Winter Soldier, but clearly if we're protecting Phoenix, that's kind of
Yeah,
Pokey
it's kind of
telling
moot
us.
point.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I feel like if especially considering we have we're sitting here in this pause, we have some time to think about this ban. You know.
Like, honestly, I would love to see the Deadpool, the Vanpool ban, because I mean we've seen Yori basically roll out on this hero every map and then make swaps if needed. But usually JJ's been the swapper, and we've pretty much always been on this tank pool hero. So I mean, I don't feel like it's a crutch for Yori, but I definitely feel like it's a heavy preference. Because I believe we saw it saved. I think it was their first protect on the first map on Krakoa, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see.
Let's see here. Yeah, it was their first. It was their first save on Krakoa.
It's gonna be an interesting game, regardless. I mean, again, we because we saw the other thing happened in that Krakoa game, right? Was another hero pulling out the Squirrel Girl. So it's like Loki, the Squirrel Girl ban would be incredibly silly, but like not, like
Yeah,
it'd be
it
like
is one
you'd
of
be
those
playing like
things. Like, hey,
6D chess.
yeah, it's one of those things. Like, hey, we know we're gonna diff you on this, so we're gonna ban out the thing that you're gonna swap to when you're already diffed. And it is that kind of layered 6D chess, like you mentioned, of like, hey, we know what you know that we know. So okay, we're live here, Dak. There was a short DC, I believe, from St. Clair there, but we are back now, and it
And the
is the
Star-Lord
Star-Lord
ban.
ban.
There it is. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, you're
You'll
asking
need
for
a
it at that point,
top-notch
right?
team to win this
You
one.
you protect your Phoenix. Your Phoenix and Star-Lord been impressive all night. You ban this Namor. It's like that was your best answer to a Star-Lord. Like you
Oh,
definitely. Whoa.
Pokey? I don't think
I'm
we've seen the
scared.
hell out of Pokey. I don't think it's gonna happen because you saved the Phoenix specifically for Pokey.
Well, the another hero, Bucky. Wait a minute. Have we been worried about the wrong Winter Soldier?
No, he's got to go on the DD, right? I feel like he's trying to bait us. I'm not gonna say anything till the door's open for this. But
Yeah,
we do
really.
see, I don't know, coming back out on this Penny Parker that we saw on Spider Islands that honestly didn't hold for very long,
30 seconds
if we're
before your
being
attack.
honest.
Get ready.
Didn't really hold defensively well
Always knew it would be
on
you
first
and
one.
me at the end of the
I don't think they had the
world,
Penny, but
Jimmy.
they had Groot, I think Emma on Kunlun, but
Yeah, well,
I don't know about this
the
Penny pick.
universe
I
seems
feel like
to
there's
be
just too much
disagreeing with that
verticality and a couple flank options here on this map that I just don't think you're going to get the value.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
I mean, honestly,
1.
considering
You have to
the
stop them
oppressive
from
mid-range
securing the
damage we
mission
have
area.
now, the Winter Soldier plus Phoenix, Emma, and the Vanpool, honestly, the Luna too. Why not? Right? It's if we're playing such a far back comp of Wolverine, Penny, and Groot, we could definitely get run down if we're not careful. We can get run down.
Gets
Though.
the kidnap into the mines!
Oh, that's that kind of rundown I'm talking about.
That's what we wanted to see on Spider Islands. What a play there from a Drake. Absolutely blowing up this tank pool and blowing up JD. There's no tanks left on the side of St. Clair. They have to retreat spawn. And what a phenomenal opening gambit, even though he's banned, from Lander University there.
Very great stuff there on that first
Here's
point
the
from
1v1.
Lander. Oh, yeah, this Phoenix is sitting up there a little cheeky. I mean, Troy looking for the same thing too, He's looking
Hey,
for some kind
if
of
it ain't
kidnap.
broke.
Exactly. Great pick there from Roses now. These Vanguards again walking back up, getting the extra bit of value. Oh, JJ's not going to jump all the way. Oh, getting a little over aggressive. Alright, we're staying patient and calm behind the choke here again. With the lack of immediate, dive, the challenge behind the choke here, we're just going to evacuate back here, utilize the Penny Mine, and force the enemy to send us into a giant minefield, and if we need to, we just get away just like that.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm liking the Penny more now that I see that we're on like a rocket invis backline. You don't really have that hard field. Those Penny webs providing just like a little extra heal over time.
Oh my.
What an ult from Rose.
Goodness gracious.
Well, okay.
Huge value there coming out from Roses and Autumn, and now with 2 minutes left, again, half the clock has burned down. We're not seeing even like a remnant of some sort of momentum on the part of St. Clair. I mean, like you mentioned before, you might benefit from some kind of dive
We're on a slightly different angle here from the Wolverine. Gets the grab. No, gets pulled. Oh, he had him, but I don't know. Follows up.
Better than my mutant power. You can't sneak up on us.
This is interesting because you don't get a lot of value from the penny altar. Let's be honest. It's mostly used just to kind of make space, but it might be isolating the Deadpool here as he has to get out. Yeah, it just kind of buys time and buys space.
Honestly, considering you're on defense and like making space is the best thing you're looking for, you know? Oh no! That's huge. CJ can find an extra bit of pick here. And the fire song in front of.
The response!
Oh, that's huge from Jay and Troy. Somehow, some way, these two holding it down perfectly for their team. I don't know how Lander's hanging on after that one. That was crazy.
And I saw Rose's swap to Strange, but I don't think he activated the portal. So they should still have last second TP touch if needed, but no points, no ticks given from Lander there is huge, and their tanks are able to get back. You do see the penny there. We see another kidnap, but halted by the invisible woman from St. Clair there. But now Lander's fully set up. There's only 50 seconds left. We're on our way to the final fight here, and things are looking phenomenal for Lander.
We have 40 seconds left on the board. We saw the CYA. Oh my god, did
Did he get red?
Yeah, JJ. This guy's going back. Jay still hanging back on. CYA putting in so much momentum here. Halo Couch coming out. The entirety of the team avoiding it. Such a huge. Oh, Jay actually going down to that one. But still a huge cooldown. Dropping for absolutely nothing. No combo to be seen there. And St. Clair is falling apart.
Oh, the strangling prison to get the stragglers!
Oh,
Gets the
that's a
support.
huge stagger.
That's both supports. There's no supports now. You have to get JJ. You have to kill JJ here. If you kill JJ, that's game. That's it. That's a full hold for Lander. Lander got the full hold. Oh my goodness.
And we have the access to the portal coming in there again. Oh yeah, but that's just again all this momentum here on the point from this penny. Made an extra space and Lander with the full hold, not even faltering for a second.
My apologies on the penny pick. I was 100% wrong on that. I didn't believe, and I don't know how to play.
Yo, Penny's crazy on this choke, man. The thing you can do, honestly, I think the biggest thing with Penny on defense here is not only the obvious of the mines like sitting out in front getting extra damage, it's the fact that you can back up so easily around this choke given how small it is, and just sustain your strategist so much. You're constantly feeding in to those strategist ultimates, and whenever you get that ultimate from Penny, like obviously, oh, you're not getting those huge kills that you're thinking, oh, we're not getting value. In reality, you're pushing the whole team back. That gives your team the opportunity to recenter themselves, to re-encompass, to get back to their position on the point. And all of a sudden, it's like
being the space maker, like without a doubt. I mean, those webs, those mines were. I mean, they had St. Clair shook. They did not want to walk into that web minefield at all.
Now, I mean, honestly, if you're like St. Clair, like what's the play here going forward? Like,
I mean, you've got to try to match the picking, which we see Yoroi doing, but like,
3, 2.
I mean, I kind of like the Jeff pick as well, because if you can get 3 or 4 people, there's plenty of places to spit them off the edge here. But an instant TP. Are they gonna try to blow somebody up? No, they're just gonna look for positioning here, and they're just circumventing the penny nest. That's it.
How do you get behind Penny? You teleport behind her. That's the answer. Oh wait, and Detroit can find the take there. Oh no! And it just starts to snowball like this, and it's looking like Lander might just run this all the way.
Yeah, you don't have time for TP because you only can give up 1 tick. Like, this Jeff has to somehow survive for the next 40 seconds by himself. But,
no way.
Wow, what if in 36 seconds, Lander makes it 3-2 on the edge of victory. Now, one more map, Lander becomes your NECC East Division champions and already has their ticket booked for the land, but shows up there undefeated.
You know, there's a word for that. It's aura.
Aura.
Lander are showing out in a strong way. I mean, honestly, St. Clair, I mean, if you're after that game, honestly, there's like considering that they're trying to like move away from the strategy you had
Oh my
before, like I
goodness.
guess you tried to like change up the ban phase, opted for like the aggression on like the sticking with the Phoenix there and like banning out straight outright the Namor. I mean, like you're kind of just like enabling Lander, like giving them the option, like, hey, like you're kind of like feeding them your team comp, what you're going to run. And
I
as
have
we've
to
seen
point
before,
something out here real quick.
mhm.
I sorry to interrupt. I don't know how. Only hit 2 final blows, 17 assists though from your tank player. Phenomenal play from I don't know how to play there. You do know how to play. And apparently it's Penny Parker that you do know how to play.
Yeah, for real. Fantastic stuff from Lander going up 3-2 in the series. One game away from sending St. Clair out of here and denying all of their hopes and dreams from making it to nationals. With that being said, we have got 2 games left, possibly 1 game left, depending on how it turns out. With Lander now up 3-2, it's anyone set still. We, of course, we're throwing it to a quick little break. Make sure not to go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. We are loading into map 6 of this potential 7-map series as we speak. And we saw before we had to remit Yggdrasil Path being chosen here. A much, much more wide open map than pretty much anything we've seen today. Could alter the ban phase quite a bit here, as now we are going to see the Gambit also bans, but now that Phoenix Protect becomes so much more important because this is such a strong map for somebody with that kind of range. What do you think, Mo? You think we're going to see that Phoenix save again, or are they going to try to save the Bucky this time?
With a group ban outright? I mean, this is the first time.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I
snap.
completely ignored your question, but this is the first time we've seen
No, that's
St. Clair
that's
going
huge.
for a different ban off the instead of the Gambit. So now, I mean, if I'm Landry, like the ball's in your court. Like
What do you want?
Are you
You want
crazy enough
Gambit or
to
Elsa?
not? Like, do you ban either? Do you ban Phoenix? Like, are you crazy enough to do that? Like, what's going on here? I mean, we're sticking with Elsa. I mean, of course.
Okay, we're sticking with Elsa,
Right.
but this now is huge. Do you save the Namor? Do you save the Gambit? Do you save the Emma Frost so you at least get one of your tanks so they don't ban out the Groot Frost combination that you've been running all series? I mean, this is a big choice, and it's neither of those. It's the Cloak and Dagger save.
Keeping the Cloak and Dagger up, you'll see the call probably sticking with the Phoenix or Star-Lord protection. That's also a great call there. Recognizing in the last game, obviously another hero couldn't represent that Star-Lord. You're protecting it immediately there. Of course, it does leave the ball in Lander's court to go for the Phoenix ban. Or, I mean, if they're confident enough against it, maybe the Winter Soldier ban. Like, there's a lot of different options you can go for here. It's tough. If you're, only Lander's in a tough position. Too many choices.
There's a lot of stuff available. Yeah. This Namor is not going to see the light of day for the rest of the series, unfortunately for Lander. But now, this is the biggest decision. Okay, they go for the Phoenix. They're going to leave the Bucky open. They're leaving the Gambit open. I mean, this was such a huge decision for them. Okay, making sure they get at least one of their tanks. I wonder if we see a Emma Frost ban here from St. Clair, so that way they get the Groot and the Emma Frost, and they're forcing them onto like Mag Strange double shield. Nope, they go for Loki instead.
But the Bucky protects, saying Pokey's going to stick with at least one of his duelist mains. Final ban coming out from Lander. See, we're going to be opting with the Gambit. We pick it up at the end. We almost missed it. Yeah. It almost got through. That would have been scary.
We got through 9 bans and protects, and then we're like, no. I do kind of like that from St. Clair, though. Them refusing to ban the Gambit. Now they get 3 really useful bans. And they forced Lander to use 2 of their bans on the Elsa Gambit, so they really only get the Phoenix ban. I mean, they may have just Galaxy brained to the ban phase here.
I mean, you mentioned Galaxy. I mean, the Galactic Heroes coming out in spades. I mean, Pokey's on the Bucky, another hero on the Star-Lord. I mean, obviously everything's sticking exactly the same with JJ on the Emma, Roy on the Vanpool, and then Ace and EpiPen on the Cloak, and Suze respectively. It's just Lander. Their team composition is completely in a rut right now.
Yeah, they kind of had to put this kind of Frankenstein composition together. You know, Loki, Moon Knight Hela here. A lot of damage, but you don't get that team up like you have with them anymore. You don't get the zombie squids. You don't get the anti-heal AoE. So, but tons and tons of damage is going to be coming out from this Lander side. And it's going to be, this is going to be a real test for the St. Clair supports. Are Ace and EpiPen and Jorah up to the task, or will Jay and Adroit absolutely just run through the health bars of St. Clair? We'll find out now.
Go as we get into this for this first fight. Let's see if Lander try to make some extra space here on this mag. Of course, Jay on the Hela put in some extra work there the past couple of games. See if we can get all the pick there on Pokies. Barely not able to. Getting jump there. We're getting messed up. Yeah, but can jump there. Another hero somehow getting out there. But considering the big jump on the back line from another hero and the pressure from the back line from Pokies, like there's a lot to worry about on the part of Lander against St. Clair.
There's the go button. They'll get one pick and just everybody's immediately walking. Chokeslam comes out from Roses and Autumn, gets Magneto down to 1 HP, finishes off by the Moon Knight, and that's going to be fight number 1. Victory side of Lander University Bearcats, and what a phenomenal hold here, though. This is such a strong corner for them, and they have all the angles taken care of between this Moon Knight and Hela. There's just a ton of damage coming in from angles that you have to force out. Otherwise, you are just going to die before the fight even takes place. Look, I mean, look at the health bars from St. Clair. JJ already down to 1 HP, and the fight just started.
I was fine, but thank you.
As we look to get amped up back here for the second fight. Of course, Jay again, the same angle. Gotta be careful where another hero's gonna go. So for immediately jump on the backline, and he is absolutely nuked there. I mean, honestly, Jay not accepting the fear, instead just getting out there and making a play, forcing St. Clair back. This is the kind of difference we need from Lander. If I was Jay, I would see the die from another earlier, and I'd play a lot farther back, scared of that Star-Lord. But there, Jay said, okay, you know what? I'm going to walk up and I'm going to start this fight in a dominant way. It's exactly what the hell it did.
Yeah, so much confidence from Jay, knowing that he's going to hit the shots. You have to appreciate that in DPS. Just be like, no, I win. I 100% just gift the other guy. But now we see the ults coming online, but Star-Lord down to 1 HP, barely gets out as this fight is about to take off. We have pretty much full ults on both sides here. As yeah, we've got 6 from the side of St. Clair, 5 on the side of Lander University. Who's going to pop it first? It looks like we see the invisible battery come down, but 3 kills come out from the side of St. Clair, and that's already the fight over and done with for St. Clair College. But still a lot of room left to go for that card. There should be another contest here, especially with, I don't know how to play, swapping over to the Strange. Gonna get the TP out. No way to really, no Spider-Man here, nothing to stall out. So we are gonna see a TP here, but where is the TP gonna go?
Oh, he's gonna hand a Conchu? Yep. And I'm gonna coming back. I'm gonna find a big pick there. No ultimate.
Oh, right.
So, there we go. The 2 picks from the Elvis Women's, you have Ethan taken down there by hand of Conchu. The big pick there, another hero from Jay. Oh, but the Goddess of Death gonna find the double picks there towards the end of this fight. Not enough left on this fight to hold on to it. Jay Ford being taken down. Valiant effort, but St. Clair gonna be taking it in that final fight.
Yeah, Pokey's on the hella saying anything you can do, I can do better, Jay. And I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing these two DPS just go at it like, oh, you're on the Phoenix? I'm on the Phoenix. Oh, you're on the Bucky? I'm on Bucky. Oh, you swap Hella? I'll match that. And just both of them getting incredible value. And we do see Jay holding on to the Goddess of Death, though. Could be a big fight winner here because even though JJ has the Sonic Seduction, you can't get pulled out of that Goddess of Death. So, I mean, could be big value. Are we going to see it here early, or are we going to try to see it as a mid-fight change? Let's see what happens.
Please.
If Jason up here again, oh, another hero going back down.
Oh, no.
I mean, honestly, if I'm thinking about Star Lord counters, the first you can come into my 9 is definitely not Hella, but clearly Jay is putting in the work right now. I mean, somehow Lander's still holding on strong on this point, looking to get the extra momentum here as we have, I don't know how to play firing on this back line. Oh, we have to switch the Spider-Man for another hero. Wait a minute. Oh, he's tired. He's sick of this.
Where's there?
You know, Jay has bullied this man a little bit too much. Now the Spider-Man has come out into fruition.
Yeah, and this is now going to be a choice for Jay. Do I hold the angle? Do I stop the Spider-Man? Or do I continue to 1v1 and try to slow down Pokies? Because you can't do both. But Bathtub Toast gets the kill onto Yori, and both tanks now down for the side of St. Clair, and that means it's walking forward time for Lander as they get the rest of these kills finished up there. And now, just the Goddess of Death was used for Lander. We see a whole just horde of check marks now for Lander University, and only a minute 45 left on the clock for this team. Oh my goodness, this is going to be rough sledding for them.
Katie Drake hanging on fire as another girl to jump in that back room. And now we have Simonson coming out, pulling into the hand of Khonshu. Oh my god. Yeah, can we get a can we get Groot Hand of Khonshu? Actually, we have Groot Hand of Khonshu at home. It's gonna be the Sonic Seduction in the Hand of Khonshu, because that was crazy.
That was insane. Now, the only downside to that is it was over so quickly that there's still a minute 15 left on the clock. So St. Clair's definitely going to get at least one more fight. Probably gets a fight and a TP if they need it. But, you still got 3 very good ultimates on the side of lane. You still have both of your support ults, and you have the Meteor M that can shut down a good chunk of other ults. But, it's looking, we've got 6 check marks pretty much on the side of St. Clair now. This is heavily ulti economy favored their way.
Extra pressure in the back line from Katie. Droid still hanging on here. Meteor M, the back line. Oh, gonna be going for it. These extra heals. Oh, do we find the level bagger? It's good. Gonna find the pick there. Absolutely huge. Taking down another Meteor M coming out. Oh, myself. Oh my god. I'm still going down there at the end, but a crazy block on that Meteor M. Now the CYA in the back pocket. We're gonna lose it in time. We'll try to take down the opposing Goddess of Death. Goes on to the spectacular spin and taking down the opposing Hella. Jay putting in an insane amount of work. Somehow, somebody we're still holding on this point. And oh my god, he's a madman. He's killing everyone.
And
someone stop him.
Fang held on to the CYA. They're gonna have the amplifier for the last fight, and they're gonna have both DPS ults be able to be amplified. Jay! Oh my god! Jay!
Cut it. Call it. Call a game right now.
Stop him! Check him, PC. Something like
check the disc, please. I don't know when he gets that joke, but check the disc. Oh my god, get him out of here. The screen's going down. Magneto, everybody, and their mom. And Jay, call the scoreboard right now. I don't even want to hear what his kills are. He's the MVP.
Yeah,
I've seen enough.
Oh my, 14 and 10 from the DPS of Lander, and we have 7 and 3. So Jay alone matched the final blows of the DPS on St. Clair. That's crazy. This is, if Lander wins this map, they win the championship. And to put on that kind of performance with this kind of pressure on the line, unbelievable. Ice in his veins for Jay.
Honestly, if you're St. Clair College, I am, I talked earlier about, what the problem is, but there's no direct counter. Oh yeah, this Hella is kind of just diffing all of us. But, what's the answer to that? The answer is, I don't know, man. You gotta
Yeah.
like,
You know,
I don't know. I have no rebuttal.
even when you're
Yeah,
invisible.
I mean the answer that they came up with was okay, Pokey's diff them back, but like it's just not like yeah, Pokey's definitely getting their fair share of wins,
I'll be sure to remember
but Jay's
that.
just getting
And when it
more.
does, I'll be ready.
And at this point, I think if you're St. Clair, I think you have to try to play like a close hold here. Like you need to get time off the clock as much as possible. You need to play for a full hold. You need to get 3 fights
Help get that
minimum
vehicle to
on this first one
destination.
here. But we're gonna see a TP strategy come out, and they're going to the high ground. I bet. No, oh, they're trying to get. Oh, they're gonna set the turret. Are they setting up the?
Oh, what are we doing? Are they getting in there?
No, it's just a regular Punisher.
Dude, if there's one
I'm
thing I'll
confused.
give to if I don't know, man. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. If there's one thing I'll give to Lander, these portals have definitely been very funny.
Yes.
Oh,
They've made for good commentary.
true.
But that being said, maybe get in the VOD room, work on some portals because definitely hasn't been the strong point for Lander today. But I mean, they've been winning regardless. But this is such a strong opening hold. We see 45 seconds already off the clock. The cart's gone on 1.3 meters. So this is looking good for St. Clair.
Trying to hold strongly here. I know how to play, trying to push up for his team. So Roy getting the extra pressure here. Does that, well, like getting very over aggressive. The big grapple up top. And we don't need to. Who needs a Star Lord for the movement, man? Punisher. That's the real movement shooter. That's who I need.
There's nothing more terrifying than a ziplining Punisher with a shotgun just landing in your back line. It's like, where did you come from? How did you get here? Why are you here? That's not your job, dude.
Where did you come from and where did you go?
Where did I go? Because now I'm back in the spawn room.
I must have it.
81% here on the. Oh god, the final judgment. And taking down Pokies again. And we're just gonna hold it down strong. I'm not worried about the portal whatsoever. This team
This is
is
great
falling like
positioning.
flies. Oh my god.
This is great positioning from Jay because they want to run him down, but they just can't because Roses and Autumn is just there as basically being a bodyguard for him on this NFL. And that's another fight more for Lander University, but that's fight number 2 for St. Clair. But they already used their TP, so I don't think they're going to get a third fight here unless they just want to throw their bodies on the payload, which I would not recommend. Ideally, you slow down, you take a close fight here, you win a fight, build some of that time bank back up, and get another portal, but my goodness, JJ goes down early. And they are trying to touch. Oh my goodness, this is such a huge play here from St. Clair for
Trying their damnedest, but Lander just hanging on strong with especially the eye. Oh my god. Big eye Pokemon coming out from Roy. I mean, using that portal got him to the ult charge just fast enough. I mean, we have 1:25 left on the clock. Unfortunately, that means St. Clair burned all of their ult minus the Meteor M. Lander is in the driver's seat right now to take this point back.
Yeah, you mean that was such a heavy investment, but I mean, I feel like you have to. Oh, Jay,
What do we think?
Jay, that was on camera, buddy. That's gonna live forever on the internet. That's gonna be a GIF real quick in the Discord.
Only 60 seconds left.
Oh.
Poor guy. But yeah, I mean, so much advantage here for Lander. As we see a Silent Seduction come out early, are we going to see the fifth approach that follows up? We do see it comes out. The Meteor M tries to mitigate some of the damage. And they hold for now.
Taken down. There goes on. Taking down another. They're going to be taking down JJ. Poki's getting some extra runs. They want to find 2 picks. Looking for 3. But it might not be enough. As they still think trying to hold on to this point again. Poki's still alive. Finally goes down. Poki's tried to have a J moment right there. Unfortunately, was not steadfast enough. We have again another hero. Oh, here comes. Oh my god, the Angela.
This is okay. So this is just time bank wasters are us because they're just Spidey, Angela. Strange was thinking about it. He thought long and hard and then looked down that hallway and
Keep up the momentum.
made a medical decision.
And he said, "Yeah, I'm good." But 2.5 minutes on the clock, only to push it halfway to this second point.
Oh, no.
Can the Lander do it, or is St. Clair going to lock it in and bring us to a game number 7?
I mean, the way it's been going, I feel like the series needs a map 7, but Lander looking incredibly strong here. And this Punisher Moon Knight composition is just throwing so much damage downrange that Ace and EpiPen just don't know what to do about it. I mean, they're healing their butts off, but it's just not enough. But oh goodness, what a good spin from another hero there.
No ultimates used on the part of Lander there again. Oh, as I say that, the invisible boundary going up. They're still trying to hold on to this fight. Agamotto coming out on the far, but actually going to be burning it there through the invisible boundary. They only have access to the Hand of Conchu and the Meteor M to around the corner as well. I mean, honestly, if you're Landry, you just have to reset at this point, because this fight looks like it's going to the part of St. Clair. This is tough. All the way back, just barely hanging on. There we go. A minute and 27 left in the ball. We saw Landers able to do that on the last point, but coming out of the nail biter again, you definitely don't want to go to a game 7 here. The momentum that St. Clair is carrying. St. Clair, I mean, this is their final stretch. They have to do it here.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see an opening Psionic Seduction. Yes, we are trying to get around that strange shield, but doesn't get around it and pay for it with Rose's life. You've got to try to get some of the abilities out before you go in with that. As we see, the Sonic Storm also takes down Adroit, and the Meteor M though coming out for the Polka Dagger gets the kill. That could be the opening they need. Oh,
huge. We're going back down, getting over aggressive. JJ goes down to Jay once again. Jay locking back in. And unless we have a port, which we probably do at this point, 90% to the Eye of Agamotto. You gotta be careful for it. We're looking to make it back here in the final seconds of this game. Lander, we have the Hand of Conchu, we have the Goddess of Death, we have this little boundary. Do we even have the portal to make it back in time? Or is that going to be? Oh, we do! Just barely at the end. So coming out there immediately, getting blocked there. Oh, the beard blocked there on the top by Yoroi. Oh my god. Big stunts are coming. Jay coming out, taking out Pokies in the 1v1. There's a boundary coming out barely at the end to avoid that Eye of Agamotto. No ultimates on the part of Lander, but still taking out all these picks. JJ goes down. Yoroi going down to the diamond form. The tackle back from behind. Everybody drops like flies. And Lander through thick and thin. They close it out in the end of this game through overtime, taking the series 4-2 over St. Clair College.
We see hugs all around there in the barricade over at Lander University. So much joy you see on their faces. Their smiles, laughs, and hugs all around as they finish off the season undefeated with a fantastic 4-2 victory over St. Clair College in what was an absolute battle. And this is so good for Lander because now they're going to land knowing that they have the mental fortitude, knowing that, hey, things can go wrong. We were down 2-1. We then won, we won back-to-back maps. They know that they can struggle through things. This was such a great performance from them.
Fantastic showing all around from Lander University. I mean, a little bit of an underdog coming into this battle as we dedicated before, but honestly, they were able to shake things up and show how they earned their undefeated record. Unfortunate for St. Clair College to not make it there, as they did need to win this to qualify, but a valiant effort from both teams. And a great watch all around, honestly. It was a fantastic showing.
Oh my gosh. This was, a phenomenal showing. I couldn't imagine a greater way to end the season than this matchup. I mean, we had so many 99 to 100s on domination, overtime pushes, overtime stops, just teleports, winning fights. So much stuff was happening. And I mean, this is 100% a series that could have gone either way. St. Clair was moments away from winning on the domination maps. Like I said, there were some 99 to 100s. Those go the other way. We're looking at a 4-2, a 4-1 St. Clair's way. So this just shows how close these two teams are, but unfortunately we won't be seeing a rematch as Lander's victory does prevent St. Clair from going to the Division 5 LAN finals. Oh, what
Fantastic.
A heartbreaking end to their season.
Unfortunate way to go to St. Clair, but again, big shout outs and congratulations to Lander University for closing it out and still being able to go out to their Division Nationals with an undefeated record. Definitely an immense amount of aura to go forward with. But with all that being said, that is going to be it for our time here tonight. I've been Momo. You can catch me on Twitter or anywhere at Momo on the mic for all my on the mic shenanigans. Vol, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at VolNilo. I also do occasionally stream over at twitch.tv/VolNilo, although that is very, very sporadic. But yeah, catch me casting all of your favorite games as I try to hop around, do the best I can to just be involved in the community. Want to thank Lander so much for giving me and Momo the opportunity to be on the mic tonight. I had a blast. I sounds like you had a blast, and this was just a phenomenal game to cast. So thank you so much for everybody over at Lander University, and congratulations once again to the Bearcats for taking the 4-2 victory.
The one I love. They know the one I love. The one I love, the one I love. They know the one I love.